graphic is going to be coming out soon. I just finished it just in time for this conversation. I very quickly worked on it. So here's everybody who's getting invited. I was going to have Elon Musk sadly peeking his head out, but unfortunately that did not work with my design for this. So I kind of organized it. We've got a lot of CEOs of public companies. We've got quite a few miscellaneous tech leaders or CEOs of private companies. And then you also have my little corner of founders of companies that are no longer, with said company necessarily. So this is a super organized list. It's not yet on X at TTV Research, but it will be very soon. So check that out. In terms of my opinions on this event, I will say I intentionally looked on Tesla Bull Twitter or X to find out if people were complaining about Elon getting invited. They weren't. So with that in mind, I think the reason, and I haven't even seen Elon talk about it, so I think the reason the EV, I guess him being shunted from that was a bigger blow was because EVs are what he, at least initially, I think was really well known for, right? And yes, he's obviously a tech leader, but I don't think he's as synonymous with that as he was
for
with,
EVs, yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say,
I
right?
agree.
So I think that's probably why the Tesla bull community hasn't freaked out, and I think also why we haven't seen much response yet from Elon.
Yeah, all right. Well, time will tell. Thank you, Adira. As we wind down the show, Joey, I can't wait for the commentary tomorrow or during the event. I'm going to be on X having a look there at what your boy Elon is going to say. But I'm going to, send it off to you.
I was going to put a quote, but I think it's pretty deep, and I'm not going to say that. But I hope everyone has a fantastic weekend. I'm off tomorrow. It's going to be Sharif and Obi. And, I'm going to be at a wedding. So,
But Sean's also gone, right? So Okay, we'll find out, I guess.
We'll figure that scheduling out. But I'm going to be at a wedding bright and early in the morning. And as for giggles, you can't drink all day unless you start in the morning. So there you go. We're having a good time. It's wedding season. Let's have fun, guys.
All right, guys. One last thing. INHD halted again to the upside, 1054. This thing is up bigly. Keep your eye on INHD. Huge breakout on this one. The big boys, though, they're that way.
There was a... Oh, wait a minute. I'm hearing something in my ear myself, which I don't like. So I got to take this out. There's a lot that was covered in that last 10 minutes.
I hear also the same problem.
You have to be drinking in the morning so you can drink all day. The Epstein files got mentioned. I want to note, and there was a mission on that infographic for that dinner, because Chamath apparently gets to go. So we found out. I saw a couple lists which had him on it, which is interesting because he's been talking up. He wouldn't fit though. He doesn't necessarily fit with those heavy hitters. But at the end of the day, the Elon thing is Fabian is doing something with my computer. That is fine. No, the Elon thing. I think that's. We know they're not friends the way that they were before, but it is a little bit of a. Probably a little bit of a small dig at him. Let's be real. But welcome back, everybody. The market is at the highs-ish. Both the ES and the Nasdaq. Open doors up 14%. American Eagle, 32% to the upside for American Eagle. Absolute barnstormer. And even the worst, well, the worst is the wrong word. Even one of the negative stories overnight, Salesforce, has really been bought back up. I mean, it hasn't done anything too crazy today, but this was almost double digits to the downside. They've decided to buy that one back up after the open. So mostly good stories. Figma's probably a little different story for them, and C3AI, but CRM, the market overall looking pretty good. Of course, we do have the biggest earnings name after the market. So no matter how good it feels right now, Broadcom's a big deal. And Broadcom needs to not lead us astray tonight. They're too big of a deal to the market. They're flat, up 1%, but not really doing a heck of a lot of anything. But this move, 0.5%, Broadcom has a poor guide, and you're giving up easily that in a matter of seconds. So it's going to be a big aftermarket show as well, because this is the bigger earnings name left in this season.
There's lots of names going through right
LULU.
now. 3. Amazon never stopped out. I mean, Amazon just continues its epic climb, up another 4%. And again, we've been tweeting about it all morning, all afternoon. We talked about it, when we were trading there. I know the guys on the midday show focus more on news than trading, but there it is right there off the stick. You know, we've been tweeting it out all morning, and here it is right here, Amazon, the long. We liked Amazon and we liked Tesla long. We also liked AMD short, which we have on board right now as well. But yeah, welcome back, everybody. It should be a fun day. Tomorrow, you're going to have, as we said on the midday show, no Joe, no me. Obi going double duty tomorrow, so that should be fun. So get ready for some more excitement there. But yeah, Amazon really kicking, and there goes, yes sir, here goes AMD as well. Get into the gates of hell. Advanced Micro Devices, as there's the short. And what did we write down again? 161.50. So we're short right now at 161.32 and 30 cents in the money there, 350 in the money on Amazon. And yeah, well positive day trading here today. I have one negative name, Tesla, and yeah, about that. It's up, down. So we did go slightly red there on Tesla, losing that last bid at 333, only to realize that that was probably a good place to get long. But anyways, there it goes, man. Yeah, the holding name here, INHD right now. Up and away, another halt right now for INHD, holding at 1054, up 121%. So get ready for that one. We're also going to do a big reload right now on our stock visualizer. So everybody that is in the building right now, welcome to the show. I see Patek here, Gatorman, Laura, what do you want us to talk about? Let me refresh this right now and get a zeros start going on here. And then all you got to do is in the chat, you just hit $. So you go $ Oscar, and then that will populate here, and it should start to populate momentarily. Leaderboard pause. There it is. Let me unpause. Okay, it should.
Give it a second. It should be good.
Yeah, it should be good in a second. Anyways, we'll let it go, but it will populate. If not, I'll restart. It is okay. Here we go. BE is now in there, so maybe you got to start now that we've unpaused it. So this will all start to populate here, and we'll get some names going. I don't know why it's not working.
I just
you didn't refresh it yet. I'm going to.
No, but I just typed the symbol. I didn't.
Let me refresh it right here. How many names is this? 174 for Open Door. Wow, Open Door right now $6.
It just hit 598.
Yeah, there's definitely something going on. Fabian, you have to check your website, man. It's a little, there we go. Now I'll hit fresh start. Okay, I think now it'll start to work.
All right.
Yeah, there it is. All right. So what's up there? Oscar, that's Oscar's symbol. Come on, man. Maybe I should get out of the stock. Right there. What was Oscar up today? Up 5%, 1850. Nice trade there. We have to get out of that
That's probably with no symbol. I'm sure they have a logo.
No, this might be their logo. Who knows? Like Intel, whatever. Big Bear AI down again to 482. We'll be able to watch that one here today. But yeah, welcome everybody to the big show one more time. Lululemon tonight should be fun to see what their earnings have in store. Yo, what's up, everybody? BMNR, people want to talk about as well. Here's what Lulu looks like. There it is. Amazon, KDP, Tesla, CrowdStrike, SMR. Wow, tale of multiple stories. For them. They're down 8% today.
It was worse.
Oh, was it? Maybe it's worse now. It was when I looked. 8%. Marvell picked up some of that at 63 and change, I think, that day. They're doing pretty good today. There's Lululemon. I mean, I don't know if this is a look at their earnings or not, but Lululemon's been off the lows there in August. So we're up already in the last 3 weeks. We're up from 186 to 204 here today. So not a horrible movement on Lululemon stock now today. But yeah, so welcome again to everybody. We're going to go over the rundown, and that's what you guys populated there at the beginning of the day. AMD is getting low. So we'll put a bid there at 90 and see if we can get in, and we do. Now we'll put a bid down at 84 and see if we can get that. As here we go, man. Maybe if this market gives it up into the end of the day, we at least have a name that we pronounced short earlier, and we have it now. So yeah, it should be an exciting one. Oh, INHD is now open. INHD, I just saw it scroll through. 1040 looks like the high, somewhere around there. 1050, 1040. Moving around right now, INHD. The name that was just a buck and change. It's funny because Sharif was talking and Joe were talking about Chinese low flow runners. I mean, I don't know what's up with INHD.
I don't know where they're from.
But if I could have a guess, it would probably be a Chinese low flow runner. INHD again right now. The rich keep getting richer on these these plays. ENO Holdings right now, no short float, of course. Float, yes, 6 million shares. And if I try to find out some news, chart, financials, peers, insiders, key data, I don't really see anything that even tells me.
It is U.S.
It's U.S. Okay, I was going to say, it doesn't tell me what they're doing in here. But ENO Holdings, circuit breaker. Construction industry.
Just would have been it would have been hilarious because the moment that it was getting talked about, you guys the boys were talking about you know, sort of Chinese names that rug pull. So had it been one after it just literally halted up as they were talking about it. But be careful with this because you know it's starting to. I don't know. It's showing enough of those like signs of a top that you might want to be concerned about it.
Amazon.
But I'm pretty sure. I don't know if this one made the rundown, but I'm pretty sure when we go to Sharif here that American Eagle is going to be on there.
Mm-hmm. We okay.
Welcome to the Afternoon Rundown, everyone, the show where you decide what we talk about every afternoon. The big boys, they're hyped, they're locked, they're loaded, they're ready to look at the tickers as decided by you, but the only way to get those tickers on the screen is to get into the chat and vote every day for your favorite tickers. Throw in that $ before whatever ticker your heart so chooses. So we don't have our major average charts right now, but I'll recap what we are in the market. The ES is up 0.59, the NQ is up 0.62, the Dow leading the way today, up 0.4%, up to 0.8, and the Russell 2000, not a bad look, up 0.75%. Let's look though at the first ticker as decided by you guys. No surprise here. Open door into the area high 604. It's at 601 right now. It's up big on the day, guys. I think to the tune of around 16 or 17%. In fact, it is 16.89. There's really no catalyst to account for this up move, other than to say that we got this one, this headline from yesterday. The former Open Door CEO, Kerry Wheeler, sold 7 million shares worth about a little bit less than 35 million on Tuesday, according to the SEC Form 114 filing. So it looks like the street's buying up what they sold yesterday.
Yeah, and someone put a correction in the chat that apparently that company might sell in the U.S., but it might actually be a Hong Kong one, that INHD.
Oh, no surprise, no surprise.
I don't know them. I looked it up, and the first thing I read said U.S., but sometimes they can be a little bit deceiving. No, Open Door, the squeeze is still on here for them. It did tag $6. I've seen a couple of times in the chat people say that it's halted or going to halt. Open Door has not come anywhere close to halting, and one of the reasons why the stock doesn't halt is the volume and liquidity is huge. It's on like 350 million shares. So it's very unlikely for a stock this liquid to end up halting. It has to move, too far, too fast. Like that's the limit. It has to move. It's not just how far it moves. It's also the speed with which it makes that move. So Open has broken out in multiple levels here. With the close above $5 was the first time we've really had any strength above the $5 level. So this morning was only long. Went on a walk, and the stock went on a run here. I'd like the next available pullback because I think the prior high at 580 to 585 gives you somewhere to pull back from the 6 level. And it's really sky's the limit. I personally, I wouldn't be chasing it for like a long-term, anything in the long term up here. It's just no chance. That said, it's just on a pure momentum, short-term play. It's undeniable that it's breaking out. The shorts have tried to win at that $5 level and had been doing so for quite some time. And clearly that's changed a lot. So I think this is a buy the dip, looking at that prior high on the 15-minute at about 585 for the next pullback.
All right, yeah, we said it, as long as it holds $5. I mean, Open Door seems to be working out. It's a great trade. I mean, even if you didn't believe the trade when it was first happening, you did get a reload right there at $2 and straight up now. So I don't think anything's stopping this name. I wouldn't go short it now. It seems like it's well off. The last couple moves, if you see, seems like 17, 20% or so where it's at now seems to be a pretty typical kind of move here. But big move. A little bit of a pullback, big move, little bit of a pullback, big move, decent pullback, big move. Maybe pullback incoming, but yeah, it keeps on heading higher. We've seen in our days many stocks like this continue to go for at least a little while. But this name's already got going basically since it's been about a month and a half or so, July 15th into September. So congratulations on Open Door. It seems like it continues to work in the right ways right now. Okay, so that's it for Open Door. There's a lot of other runners today as well, but Open Door probably the biggest, 350 million shares.
Yeah, big volume there. But hey, check out BTCC. In 14 years, 0 hacks, 0 excuses. BTCC.com delivers when others don't. You can trade Bitcoin up to 500x, even Tesla, gold, Forex. And with smart copy trading, you don't just watch the pros, you trade like them. Regulated in the US, Canada, and Europe, trusted by 6.8 million traders. And there's a Trader TV Live exclusive. Scan the QR code or click the link in the description box for a 15% deposit bonus. BTCC.com, where the pros trade, and now so can you. Shout out to them. And like I said, scan the QR code, check the link in the description. And they mentioned you can trade Tesla, which happens to be next on the board.
Guys, TSLA up 0.5%, not a bad look, was negative at times, but off the highs, it rejected that 340 area. A couple of different headlines on the day. The new Model Y L, which is a bigger, longer range Model Y with 3 rows, has been selling about 10,000 different orders per day, 120,000 total. That's out in China. It's a China-specific Model Y variant. Separately, the Robo-taxi in Austin, apparently Tesla moving the safety driver from the passenger front seat to the driver's seat now as they go onto the highways of Austin, no longer restricted just to the streets.
I mean, I really like Tesla. We've talked about that a couple times here today. It was one of the top long ideas. We had this and Amazon on the note right there. But this is the only red name that we actually have today. And there goes Tesla right now back to the upside. It's actually up the same as the market, but yeah, just upside love for them. It's been really sideways on Tesla. So my opinion is, we're waiting for everything on this company, and until we get a real significant release one way or the other, the robo-taxis are delayed or they're not, full self-drive is coming or it's not. Like, I just think there has to be some kind of an answer here, and that's what we wait for. So all of us just looking for, reasons to buy or sell Tesla, and right now you're kind of caught in the middle. So I'm not in love with the stock here at this level. I'm still long. I love the fact that it's holding, so there's that. You're above the 50 and you're basically at the 200 period moving average. But tough one to trade in the middle of the day. Gets pretty choppy. Maybe we have a late day run if we could take this out 336. We're getting pretty close to that. This little top break right there. We're already long Amazon and short AMD. So I don't know if I want to add Tesla to the party right here. Just not directional enough for me. And if you don't have the catalyst, you don't have direction, I'm going to pass on trading Tesla. I mean, it doesn't mean I'll pass on it, but for now, I don't see much going on right here. And we had that talk about how Elon is not part of that AI task force meeting there when Satya Nadella and
got a company,
many other big names there. So
Grok ain't bad.
Grok is one of the top ones, I think.
Well, exactly, and I don't know. It's the old tit for tat, whatever. It's not even I don't know. We know why. But they have the thing about Tesla. It just every time we pull it up, it's like it's in some kind of compression pattern. Like on the 15-minute, it's compressing. On a daily chart, it's compressing. Like at some point, you've got to stop this compression, and then you explode one way or the other. Hopefully to the upside, because I still own shares. But yeah, what the heck's gonna get us to move? Tesla. Every other name in the Mag 7 is doing something. I don't have the do something button, but if I did, I would hit it right now because Tesla just needs to do something. We're not used to Tesla. Intraday, you'll still get these moves here or there, but this is an incredibly boring stock recently on the daily, just not really giving us any juice. And the longer it holds this compression, the more I'm going to like it when we eventually break out of this. Because we're not going sideways and just getting smaller and smaller ranges on Tesla forever. And we will get our opportunity. It just doesn't seem like it's imminent. Although the one next here, wow, FinTech, it wasn't just Robinhood. Oh, SOFI made it too.
We just got one up. I wanted to sort of talk about it before we put it on, but that's okay. It's on there right now. So tonight's earnings calls. LULU. Docu, Service Titan, UiPath, Internet of Things, Samsara, AVGO, Broadcom, and what CRPT is? Sept? No, not Sept. First Trade, CPRT, oops, CPRT, sorry, about that. I don't know. It's one of the better ones, Copart. I don't know. Nothing there, but they're going to report tonight. So we have this up right now. Yesterday, I chose Lululemon. I chose American Eagle, AEO, which is not even on the list, up 35%. So the same thing as today. If you had to put 10K into one stock, I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to give mine. Neil's going to give his. But I'm going to pick one of these and tell you which one and why. But for right now, you pick yours, 120 votes already. And then Neil will go, and then I'll go, and we'll discuss which name that we are choosing and give you the reasons why. So right here, it's 220 right now. Get your votes in, man. Yesterday, this had about 1,500 votes attached to it. So let's see if we can get that going right now. If you're watching, give us a go. Lululemon, and they're all kind of different sectors, really.
Very different.
Lululemon there, DocuSign, which we all know about.
Yesterday was like easy to pick AEO. Because there's no
AEO is only 8% chosen.
I know, but it was the squeeze play, and it was. No, I just found it easier to pick. We'll see. Is there none of the above? No, I'll pick one. Yeah. But I got to think about this one because I'm not a gigantic fan of any of these. I like Broadcom. I just don't know that I like it here, and that's sort of the problem with that name. But yeah, think about it. Put some time and effort into it for sure. As let's talk about the hooded one, or Robin Hood. I guess when you say the hooded one.
Catalyst on that, Neil, but I want to point out, guys, Intel just got into the high of the day, 24.58. Intel continues to go up about over 2% on this headline here. Reuters citing the Citi Global TMT conference saying expecting to close the Altera deal in the next few weeks. Adara brought us this headline. It wasn't at highs. It's at highs right now. But there's a look at Robinhood, guys. Been trending off that $100 area for the past little while. Up 3% today. No catalyst.
I know. He's talking about Peacemaker. I haven't watched Peacemaker. I watched a couple episodes of it, but shout out to John Cena. Love John Cena.
John Cena's hilarious in it. And the guy from Terminator. The T2 plays his dad. And that's, I'll leave it at that. You got to get a chance to watch it. And there's a connotation. When I said the hooded one, if you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. The Peacemaker is absolutely hilarious. I love when it's kind of like it's not Deadpool, but it's very similar. It doesn't take itself too seriously so that you can have some laughs.
Right,
and there's good action in it as well. But like, doesn't take itself too seriously, and they know how to get a laugh, and Cena's great. I think he's hilarious.
Yeah, John Cena's amazing. So everything, like Rock's done really well. John Cena's done really well. Okay, Robinhood, it's just, it basically went bear territory. I mean, if we're going to talk about technical and what it actually means, you go from 118 down 20%, down into 97 and change. That's bear territory for the name. So if you're looking to buy stocks when they're entering certain levels, you did have that opportunity there for Robinhood, and it came back in, and now it's just kind of floating around the 50-period moving average. Yeah, I mean, it's such a strong name, when things are going well. I'm just looking to see when things don't go so well. And right now they're going fine, and it's holding up. So I think we got to support the name and like the name here. That is Robinhood. I just not, for myself, not 100% certain if I'd want to take a position in this name right here, right now. We've seen Webull come down. We've seen SOFI pull down just a little bit. SOFI, not as much. But, it's had a lot. It's tripled up. Like that April low was 30. We went 4 times up there into 120. So, yeah, there's lots about this name. There's lots to like about it. But I'm actually waiting for almost like I don't want to say capitulated bottom, because I don't think it's going to move like that much, but like a flush out on a day. Flush it out, like what happened to Marvell on earnings. Like flushed it out, come back into certain levels, and I think that first level might be 90, in and around there. So kind of halfway between the 50 and the 100 and the 200. Sorry. So we'll see about a move back in for Robinhood. Like the stock, but I don't know. We don't have the app here or anything like that. I've never used it, but more clients, more assets under management. Seems to want to work out. I like Robinhood in this level. It's just I'm not ready to buy it yet. Here.
I still think it's too high.
I don't know. I still think it needs to come down and just chill when it's done, just a little bit.
Yeah, it's the same reason I wouldn't buy SOFI up here either. Like, I like SOFI, I own SOFI, I just wouldn't necessarily pay up to grab it up here. But look, for the short term, coming in tomorrow, here's a better way to think about it. coming into tomorrow, unless something silly happens, which in the last, you never know. Like we could, let's just say the market drops heavy or something crazy happens and Robinhood ends up giving up the juice. It's not going to close above the 50 period, but it regained it here and is going to try to break a little downtrend since the high. So coming into tomorrow, I'll be bullish on it for a day or two. At least, you've held the 100 level, higher lows. Like I look at this and say, if we're consolidating here tomorrow, breakout 105. That's a big if. Anything can happen in the last hour and a half, and then we could be down at $100 tomorrow morning instead of chilling out up here. So I'd look for a long trade on this reversal tomorrow for here, but I don't know if I want to buy this. And SOFI, just because it's in the same realm, Blue Ocean came up first. SOFI is still here's the difference. SOFI is still going higher. Parabolic's the right word in this particular case. On a 15-minute, there's been a single red candle all afternoon on SOFI, and it's still continuing to climb. So I think for this afternoon, if you're looking which one, what are you going to trade today? How is that Blue Ocean and the other one isn't? If you're going to look for a trade, it's a little bit too much. I'm seeing this ridiculous trend, and it's really holding on to trend. If you go from when it broke out, hold, it's on a precipice. Just for a shot. I can't look at a trend like this, see that Robinhood has pulled back, the market's not flying out of it's going up, but it's not going crazy. If we break trend here, I got to look at SOFI for a bit of a reversion. But yeah, like Robinhood, wouldn't buy it up here long term, but tomorrow, going to favor the long because of that $100 bounce. And congratulations to anyone got this next one to the long side early on, Neon. Sometimes you do get a dead cat bounce.
Yeah, I just want to remind everybody why SOFI is moving up, Neil, and you have some connection to this. So Buffalo Bills quarterback MVP Josh Allen and SOFI announced a multi-year partnership to champion financial ambition. That was a headline that we got this morning, and it's been basically a buy program from that onwards. Here's Neon. It's technically down about 70% after that huge jump from about $22, $21 all the way down, guys, into this morning's pre-market low of $3 mid-40s. But since we made that pre-market low, the current price action, we're up about 105% on this headline over here. Announcement of the anticipated proceeds from a patent lawsuit settlement coming, and the market likes that.
Yeah, it is. Well, the fact that the market likes it, I think, is...
Good AMD, wow.
The part of the story is... Anytime you see movement like this, once you start to catch a bid, it is going to be really, really popular for day traders and short-term traders to try to jump on the trend because they just see the opportunity of how big it can go. And I don't wonder, it's already trending up, and then it's holding VWAP, and then once it shows that at the open, it's just a pile-on because the opportunity is so big. And I think you had to have it early because to do 83 million shares, still be that much action, and now it's completely going sideways. I feel like you've missed the boat on this. So you've got to try to peg these really, really early in the day. And unless right at the open, this was the thing you were trading. I don't know that I would have felt comfortable chasing it at any one of those moments, just given how far and crazy mispriced this was. But if you got into this early, there was no small cap runner that was going to be better than this. And it just goes to show, oftentimes you're looking for breakouts. It's the only way for these small, something that's doing an open door, right? People are getting squills and all that nonsense. Oftentimes you will just get the dead cat bounce, and it's just as good. So when you see that, a dead cat bounce, it's already made the low in the pre-market, and it's completely higher lows the entire way through, holding the open. That can give you a reason to jump into it. I wish we had looked at that one maybe a little bit deeper, but at the end of the day, if small cappers are your thing, you're on this today. And if they're not, then you maybe stay away and trade the things you're more comfortable with. Because this one, I'm surprised, to be honest, that it didn't halt once. This felt like it halt up, halt down. That was going to be the risk. I think I might have even said that this morning. Be careful. Watch out for some halts on this. You don't want to get trapped in them. And that ended up not being true. It was very orderly trading and all to the upside. So congratulations if you got it. I think you want to bank your profit because you never really know how this will play out day 2 and day 3. Dead cat bounce is called that for a reason.
Yeah, another name here halting around, but it has opened back up now, of course, INHD. I just want to bring this to everybody's attention here because it's coming back in and just now bouncing off of the 50-period moving average. So there is a little bit of a look there on INHD. If you're trading that and you either hit the short or looking for something right now, you can see you are bouncing off pretty nicely right now. Okay, everybody, you know, OGen, we've had them on before, and with football season just starting out, each year over 3.8 million concussions are reported in the US, but there is still no FDA-approved treatment. Well, NYSE-listed Oragenics, symbol OGen, is changing that with the first in-class intranasal drug designed for rapid brain access, with the concussion treatment market projected to reach $8.9 billion by 2027. Oragenics is uniquely positioned to, of course, lead the way. Learn more and schedule a meeting today with Oragenics. I think it's awesome that we've had them on. We had Pat LaFontaine and Brett Favre and so on and so forth talk about some of the concussions and the issues that they've had. And I think that'll be coming more and more to light now as the NHL and NFL starting out here today. So check out Oragenic. Check out AMD right here on the move down. Again, we just shorted this right when we came on air at 2 o'clock as it went right into our Stikino level of 161.50. Downside play there. More covers right there as you know, it falls into some kind of support, but I don't know. Maybe we get a little bit lower. We still championing the long with Amazon as well. But I've doubled the shares in AMD right now than I do in Amazon because we've been planting red roses all the way to the upside here. Hopefully it can get going even more. But right now it's Amazon and AMD. My trade, and a trade that we normally have, is Palantir. Although I haven't had that in a while. Let's go find out the story with PLTR.
Couple of headlines, Sean, even though the stock is flat on the day, down 0.1. Here's the first one. Palantir and Lumen collaborate to deploy Foundry and AIP in Lumen's AI-driven business overhaul. Also, that's Lumen. It should be Leary. They've got another headline here with Leary, a 5-year partnership to expand that partnership with LEAs, the ticker. So looking to expand with a couple of companies, Lumen and Lear.
Yeah, and look, obviously, you know, that's a bigger deal for Lumen than it is for Palantir. Like, that's going to move Lumen stock. And I guess this gave you two chances. I kind of wrote this off. I saw that headline. I'm like, oh, well, all Lumen did is drop this morning after gapping up. And then right at the open, it broke out and kind of dropped again. So I think this is, if you're looking for a way to play that story, clearly Lumen, a small capper, partnering with Palantir, it's not a bad-looking daily chart either. Like, this is something that's rounded into its bottom. It's just barely broken out the 200-period moving average as well, including the 50. So it's a bit of an upward swing here in Lumen, although giving up a lot of that move early. Palantir, I just feel like you're seeing something. You're seeing Palantir be accumulated right in this mid-150 zone. And as long as that's happening, you want to play off this level, but there's been zero continuation to the downside on any of these moves. Like, they're all bottoming tail candles at that 50 period. And any big close is well above and not below. But we are below the 50, at least for today. So I did short it when it was there at 156. It looks like it might have a chance to close under. That would be weak. But at some point, it's always catching a bid and finding a way to close off of the lows. And somebody's defending it. Every time it does, you just got to try to respect it. Like, it's gearing up to go. Every day that this holds, it's not dissimilar to what you're seeing in Tesla, where it's forming this consolidation pattern. But once again, there's some late buying going on in Palantir. The difference between today and yesterday is yesterday it couldn't get anywhere near VWAP. Today it's breaking it here in the afternoon. So this feels gorgeous. Like if we can hold above if we hold above this 50 period, the volume weighted average price in Palantir, I'm going to be looking for some longs this afternoon. It's getting bought up again. It's just yesterday was weak, but even today, again, just off of the lows. Someone's accumulating in this stock. Lumen, I think you have a look at that one. If it holds the lows for a couple of days on this Palantir news, it's probably a decent swing opportunity. There's worse headlines that you can have than a partnership with Palantir for a small cap.
All right, everybody. Yeah, look, we recently got out of some of our long-term position at 160. We talked about that. That was actually last Friday when we got bumped up back in here into 160 for Palantir. So I feel like that's the top for now. I'd like to see it, before we actually stamp a buy on this, although it's at the 50-period moving average. Let's just learn as much as we can that Rivian laying off 1.5% of their workforce right now. So
that's a very small
very, very small, but to cut costs there. Okay, so they are planning on launching a new SUV, Rivian. Let me just go over here and have a quick little look at Rivian here. Yeah, so laying off 1.5% of their workforce. A little bit of volume on that there. There's the spike. It looked like they wanted to go upside, downside. So this is just a pure algo trade. Again, they hit the story, goes up and goes down, and now doing nothing at all. So Rivian, it's interesting that the thing that I didn't know about it, and I just learned right now, is that they were planning on releasing another SUV. So I didn't. Oh, yeah, we knew about that. The R.
I think, yeah.
It's not R1S.
Didn't we have the poll for that?
No, that was the truck, whether or not we wanted the F-150 or the R1S. But yeah, okay, so anyways, Rivian just, I guess, restructuring a little bit with their workforce there. Nice downside play for Rivian lately. But
it got pumped today.
Yeah, it's down 5 today, but it's had a really nice base there of 1150 coming into play there, Rivian. But yeah, for me, just on Palantir, I think it's a pretty simple trade. You got to hold this level up there, 165. So if we break above and then start to use some of this as our support, then that's fine. But right now, it looks like the support's in question. Like I said, if we have the Nasdaq down 1% or something tomorrow, Palantir will be down 4 or 5%. So just be careful with this one. It's kind of a proxy for the market in general. And right now, as the Nasdaq kind of levels out, you're seeing Palantir doing very, very similar things. Not really a news-based stock, to be honest with you. I feel like it can move 3, 4, 5% on any day for no reason, just following the market. Yep. So watch out for Palantir there. Government funding is secured. They have a lot of government jobs, and now they've come into more of the not retail space, but the industrials and some of the commercial space right now for Palantir. So yeah, it's kind of one of those things where it's not like, I don't want to say it's treated as the same way Disney or Target are for their wokeness or anything like that, but Palantir does have some negativity around it in regards to how they do support and the technology is used for war crimes, basically.
Even Caterpillar just recently got wrapped up in that.
Yeah, so you got to be careful with that. I mean, there was another, Target Target hires, some DEI hires there I was reading about. The market doesn't like all that kind of talk. And when you get ramped up politically in things,
it's tough.
It's tough, right? And we saw Disney get kicked for a while there. Because of some of their affiliations and whatnot. So yeah, just nothing to worry about. Just there are issues around Palantir. So that would be a worry spot for me if worried at all, to be honest with you. But yeah, anyway, so that's what that is. So it's 237. That's the rundown.
Oh, 1 point on Rivian. I will say this, at least across the board, every time there was a discussion between the ancillary EV names in the US, specifically between Rivian and Lucid, everybody around here preferred Rivian to Lucid. And if that comparison, there was a long period of time where that looked like it could go either way if you're looking at the stock charts. And now it's like that battle has been decidedly won by, regardless of the fact it's down 5%. Like Rivian from that, because it was $10 to $11 on Rivian, and it was $2 on Lucid, and they both had essentially the same low. And Rivian held on and has bounced several times, and from those levels to you have like 30% or 25%, depending on where you've gotten it. And it's been a long bottom here for Rivian, and Lucid had the same thing at the $2 level, and Lucid just continues to break down and looking nastier and nastier. I think they're down another bajillion points today. Bajillion meaning 6. So the old reverse split and then only go down remains true for Lucid. Rivian doing so much better. SMCI, just very quickly, AMC. What did I just say?
Don't go quick, just keep going.
SMCI pulling back into the volume weighted average price, and now I'm racking my brain as to why AMC just came out of my mouth when I was about to talk about SMCI. SMCI back into the volume weighted average price. I've been short a few times here. Going to try to grab this one into the volume weighted average price, and I had no reason for saying AMC, nothing happening there. Open Door is another one that is on radar. I'm trying to look for this pullback in Open Door. And it's not really giving you any kind of consolidative moves when it dips. It's like dip, quick bottom tail candle, and then come back in there. Huge volume, so there'll be plenty of time to be able to catch this one if it does make a break above the $6 level. But it's really having trouble at $6. So I'm kind of thinking you're going to pull back a little bit more than like 5 or 10 cents that it's doing right now. Market slowly grinding higher, so we're looking for things off VWAP, Apple above it, and SMCI below it are the two things that I'm in now, with a watch on Open Door because the volume is so good when it comes to this name.
A key level there for Open Door as well. It's too bad Sharif is gone because I actually wanted to ask him, and I'm going to ask him about this tomorrow. Polestar. This was, and it's just funny because you're talking about Lucid. I lost all my money in Fisker, and there's other traders looking to make plays on this. But I know that Sharif was looking at Polestar at this dollar mark there, and I thought he was in like on a. I thought that was him again, but it's not. I thought Sharif was in on a break of $1, and it went up to $1.50. I didn't hear him mention if he sold anything or not. So I just wanted to ask him because what happened to Polestar? But what happened yesterday? How come we didn't watch?
Wait a minute.
Polestar down 50%?
They had earnings.
They went 50 points on earnings.
They had earnings or they had no earnings? I mean, this was like
they don't make it.
Whoops,
Sure they don't
50%
make money.
You know, we didn't even talk about this yesterday.
No, we did not.
This was down 50.
They actually reported solid earnings. They reported a 56% year-over-year revenue growth for H1 25.
What a short.
Right, so this just goes to show you that,
Look at VWAP on
earnings don't mean anything. It's about the forward guide. So I'll be interested to see what the guide was because, like, you don't report solid earnings or a good quarter, and then the stock drops 50%. So I don't know if there was like a little offering hidden in there or a talk of insolvency.
There could just be an implication that they need to raise funds.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, was there a talk of some sort of insolvent nature here? Because that's not good right here. But Neil, nobody really cares what we have to say other than your opinion here right now. What are you choosing? So again, there's 805 votes. We want to thank everybody for that. But right here, we've got 10 grand. And again, this is not to say, this is something that we would do. Or, Neil and I both talked about getting trades into earnings, very risky, right? I picked Marvell that day, and I actually put money to work. And then the next day, it was down 18%. It's rallied back 5 of those percentage points. But at the end of the day, it's hard to make an opinion on where I would throw all the money in, but we're going to choose one of these names. Yesterday it was AEO.
Yeah.
So what are you thinking today? I mean, CRM was I haven't clicked on it because I don't want to see the scores, but
I have.
Like yesterday, CRM was the obvious choice, and I think that's you and I talked about it. It was more conservative, right? I
think the same thing's happening again today, and I picked DocuSign. But let me just preface this by saying I don't own any of these stocks, and like the first words out of my mouth is, "Can I pick none of them?" Which we're not.
No.
I picked Docu, and I think it's not the same reason for picking American Eagle, because I think that was just a pure squeeze play, and I kind of acknowledge it as looking at it as a bit of a squeeze play. But I'm kind of encouraged by the fact what I wanted was the thing that most people wouldn't necessarily want, that seems like it's at enough of an inflection point that it gives you that most upside. Like that's without picking UiPath. I don't really like that. But so I went with Docu because I feel like if you get an extended move here, if you break the 2, I'm like, okay, you've got room to 95. Like I see a path to 15 to 20% on this. And that's really what it came down to for me, a clear technical path to 15 to 20%. And maybe it's kind of like it's just not the thing that everyone else wants. I'm a little worried about Broadcom. Just if NVIDIA wasn't going to go up on their earnings, Broadcom's going to.
No, I would not.
I
would not choose Broadcom.
I'm a little bit more concerned there, but I understand why. Like if I had to buy one of these companies, and then if I had to put 10 grand and then hold it forever, and I'm not just putting an earnings trade, what's going to happen overnight? Then yeah, of course, I'm going to pick Broadcom.
Right. Yeah.
Like which one would I buy and hold and give to my give to my daughter when I pass away? 100% is Broadcom. But if it's just overnight, I think the opportunity lies in something like DocuSign, maybe even UiPath. Lululemon it's troubling for them. You got to hit right. Like if you see what's going on with American Eagle, if Lulu had something exciting, then I would pick them. But it's really tough to have a winning brand and sustain, because it's so cycle driven, and you jump from one to the next, and you're in favor and then you're out of favor, and LULU's sort of trying to find its way again. Obviously, if they'd gotten Sydney Sweeney, then that stock would be up 20%.
Yeah, Sydney Sweeney. Yeah, we sort of looked at that. Apparently, Boeing is moving around.
Up, hopefully.
A little bit. I'm not sure. I just heard it. Yeah, a little up there. Why is it so choppy today? Boeing right here. Let's zoom back out. Yeah, this is like a little bit of gap fills here. Like, look at the spread here, 6-7 pennies. There's not that there's not much going on. I mean, there's always something going on somewhere in this market. But right now, yeah, a little choppy areas of support or resistance here, it looks like to me. But anyways, okay, let's just go on and continue to look at different names. But there goes Boeing. Nice little play there to the upside right now. Temporary, here it is. Reuters cites Boeing defense saying it plans to hire workers. Scab workers here, hiring workers to replace striking union members. I thought they had sort of resolved all of that, but okay. I am guessing not. All right, so that's it for Boeing. I don't know. It looks like, I would think that that's obviously a good story there. If they're going to hire workers, hopefully that means to solve and treat some of the demand that they have. Obviously, if they didn't have an overwhelming amount of demand, they would feel no pressure to hire workers, and they would just wait for that to come back. So I kind of like that. All right, there's we just missed our out. Oh, there it is. Okay, we got it at 96. So another out there on Amazon. I'm starting to clean up a little bit here. We have an hour and 15 minutes left until the close of the market. And
hold on a second. I have to call somebody out here.
Let's do it.
All right, Joe.
We're all about that.
I love and appreciate all of our viewers. We have a great community. But Joe, how dare you say that about Josh Allen?
What did he say?
Sydney Sweeney is a heck of a lot better choice of sponsor than Josh Allen.
That's obvious.
Can Sydney Sweeney throw a 70-yard pass on the run, rolling to their left, opposite way, and just throw dimes and win the Super Bowl this year? No, she cannot. Josh Allen. Josh Allen can do those things.
First of all, just like what Derek just said, you don't know that she can't do that. And second of all,
it's obviously true that she's a better spokesperson than Josh Allen.
Exactly.
Josh Allen's not.
Sydney Sweeney can save America and AEO single-handedly. Remember, though,
only one of them's winning the Super Bowl.
The thing is, all this hype about Sydney Sweeney is actually all BS, because it was just announced, 2 weeks ago? The numbers that they released were...
It was released, or it was announced on July 23rd, 2025. So it was a little bit more than 2 weeks.
Okay, so a month ago. So the thing is that...
But it's still the quarter's number,
Yeah, I'm actually just... Yeah, I'm just wondering, how much of that impact is in the quarter, right?
Look at next quarter.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how many people ran out there and... picked up jeans because of that, but again, I don't know. I think it's more of the fact that it was a recovery story, right? And we'll see. Barclays raised its price target on Dick's Sporting Goods. I just want to see this name because this has been another hot name in the retail sector as well. They took out they took out some Foot Locker. Yeah, so that closes tomorrow. So Foot Locker going to be part of their portfolio. I don't know. I bought the On shoes there. I just went to their website, but you can buy those at Foot Locker and all that. So I do think that that's going to help Dick's Sporting Goods get a little bit more traction into the stores. And I think as soon as you go into the stores, you're going to want to keep. I mean, if you're a sports fan or you play sports or anything like that, or you want to support your local teams, I mean, these guys have absolutely everything. It hasn't done anything though in 2 years. This is 2024 right here. This is March. Nice move up into 213, drips into 170 up to 240, but kind of looks like a little bit of Tesla action here. We're going up and down, up and down, up and down until eventually finding its ways. But we'll wait to see if Dick's Sporting Goods has a play or not coming through. All right, so just quickly here, AMD. We cashed, we talked about cashing out when it was down there, man. All you can really do is obviously trade your own style and look at what you're doing. But there's the downside play. Look at the Nasdaq again. I'm sorry to all the bears out there. Every day, the Nasdaq keeps on coming through and acting. Acting. And I feel bad for the Chicago Bears every day. But the thing is that if you look down into here, you can see. It gives you a little bit of hope, right? Oh yeah, the tank is coming, baby. Okay, we got them, all this kind of stuff. And then it's just whap. Just like we were saying about the NFC North there, Detroit thinks they're all good. Chicago thinks, we're improved and all that. There's, and then Green Bay gets Micah Parsons. So it's just kind of like boom, 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 nope. And right now we are minutes away from a new all-time high in the market. But I don't think that happens today or tomorrow. I don't think Broadcom is going to be the result that everybody is looking for here today. And the reason why Broadcom is not going to be a huge take today, and again, it's the 8th most rich company in the world. They're $1.8 trillion, so the most expensive, highest market cap, not most expensive, sorry, 8th largest market cap in the world is Broadcom. And I just don't think they're going to say anything. I think they're going to have a monster quarter. I think it's going to be huge. But again, if we keep on talking about data centers, we saw weakness from Marvell. They talked about there being some turbulence there, as did obviously NVIDIA. We've seen a dramatic pullback in AMD as well, from 190 or so down to 160. And now you're seeing Broadcom going out at earnings at all-time highs pretty much for Broadcom. Whoops, there's our charts don't show the split. There's the problem here for Broadcom is you're just where you are on the stock, right, on the level 2. But remember, or on the daily chart. Thing about it is NVIDIA, remember how much they moved off earnings? 0. It was like, at the end of the day, I think they were like either flat or down 0.3 or up 0.3 after earnings for NVIDIA. And then they fell the last 5 days off of earnings. So
pure disappointment.
Yeah, just like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like I said, if they go red today, that'll be its 6th red day in a row for NVIDIA. And it's not dramatic. It's just their report was huge. How many billions and billions of dollars do they need to sell? Well, the answer is more. Because it's obviously not reacting too positively to this. MSOS popping right now as more weed coming into play one more time. Look at that pop rate. They're up 4.5%. And this is another one of those names where it always looks like they're falling back down into the downside, and then you get these little pops. So Adara has some news, I believe. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so she's going to be looking into, I thought we were going to Adara anyways, but we are not. Okay, so we will, okay, yeah, to Neil, my bad. So we'll figure this out for MSOS right now. Adara with news and Neil with something he wants to tell you guys.
Well, if you're talking about the Nasdaq and the markets, they're going to move on Broadcom's earnings. And one place that Canadian sophisticated traders can look to play it is with Beta Pro by GlobeX, because they've launched 6 new triple leverage ETFs, 3 times bull, 3 times bear exposure, the S&P TSX 60, semiconductors as well, and U.S. Treasuries, which are a big deal in this cycle. They're also offering a special free rebate, so it gets even better. They're dropping the management fees to just 65 basis points until end of the year, December 31st. These ETFs also employ currency hedging to seek to neutralize USD exposure, providing performance that may more accurately reflect the underlying U.S. equity indices. If you're a tactical and sophisticated trader looking to amplify your performance, check out betapro.ca 3x daily to learn more. And as always, trading vehicles, not investments, right? You get chewed up when it comes to those options and decay. Just quickly before we go to Adara, there was kind of a random spike here in Apple, but it's already, someone's chasing it down. I'm going to see if we can't get out. It went like a $0.50 off his volume weighted average price. I'm going to take the profit and get right back on the bid at VWAP as we go to Adara.
I don't actually have any news on marijuana with regards to the move to the upside. I did check Marijuana Moment, which about 98% of the time is the source of these stories. And the most recent story was actually apparently a former Trump cabinet official claiming that marijuana rescheduling would worsen crime. So definitely not the catalyst that seems to be pushing this move to the upside. I'm not seeing any news on this, but yesterday it dropped. We didn't have news on that either, so I just want to address that. Now, let's talk about Boeing as well. The other aspect of that Boeing, or that Reuters report suggesting that Boeing Defense was looking to hire some individuals to replace striking union members. Apparently, they said the hiring the replacements for the striking machinists is just their next step in a contingency plan. So unclear when it's going to be executed to provide some more context. Furthermore, we have finally posted this infographic here when it comes to the invitees for the Rose Garden. Now, we did have Lisa Su here. Apparently, representatives from AMD have included, have disclosed to confirm that she's coming, but there is a whole bunch of other individuals, including Chamath Palihapitiya, who are reportedly invited, but are not confirmed to be coming. So repeat, Chamath Palihapitiya is in a short list of people who are reportedly invited, but are not reportedly attending confirmed yet. So I just want to address that here. You can find the whole list of all the invitees, which also include the CEO of Figma, Dylan Field, on X at TTV Research. So again, this visual is just people who are widely confirmed and reported by various sources to be attending. That does not include people who are reportedly invited. Back to you.
Chamath. He's not confirmed to be attending Chamath. Well, you get the invite and not go. If you hear that guy on the all in, he's been, I don't know. I don't listen to it all the time.
Is he all in or?
Well, this is coming from Sharif, who I know listens to it. So I'm not sitting here telling you that I listen to the All In podcast every single week. I know that Sharif listens to it. And from what he garnered, he said, look, it's pretty obvious when you hear Chamath that he seems to be aligning with the Republican agenda and potentially looking to make stronger connections to whatever could be the next term. So that was his thoughts. I don't listen. I shouldn't say I don't listen to it. I have not listened to it in a while. I have listened to it in the past for sure. But Open Door, what this thing cannot break. I mean, it's getting to 6. We can get to 6. You can't hold 6. That's the problem. It's not holding that $6 level. So if you're not going to dip further back, I need it to catch a bid over 6 and maybe take out the top. Because if it breaks the high, you're talking about 605, and then you could maybe even give it 5 cents worth of risk on a breakout trade. So after getting out of that little dip buy on Apple, SMCI into VWAP is the only thing we have on. And why am I bidding at 38.80? Don't need a bid down there. Just short off this one on the volume weighted average price. This Open Door will have eyeballs on for sure. Roof Ninja. Circle looking for a low of the day break. I always find it interesting as the market's breaking the high. Relative strength and weakness is one of the more important things I think when you're looking at trading. For Circle to be down here at the lows, while the market's at the highs, we know where some of the weakness has been today, and it's been in places like Circle, MSTR, SFET, BMNR. A lot of the direct crypto type names have been getting hit, and Circle, let's just call it what it is. This stock is in its own personal bear market right now, and it's not. It has shown zero signs of a betting. There's maybe a couple of small back-to-back green days on this stock recently. It's just trying to find a home, and next stop feels like $100. So I think we wait for $100. When this opened, this was a great IPO. Anybody that traded for the first couple, this was back when, it's not that long ago, but we were actually getting follow through. Figma no follow through, bullish no follow through. This one was good at the open, and then it was just as good the next day if you traded it to the long side. Wish we had. But obviously, this is coming all the way back in. $100 was the last monster area of support before it almost tripled up after the IPO. So I think it could find a bit of a bid. But these guys are getting trounced, just looking pretty ugly there. Okay, Circle, not Circle. Open Door just broke. So there's the break above 6. Let's see if we can't weasel in on the pullback here. Ooh, you bid the mid and you get insta-filled at the midpoint. That was interesting. Insta-filled at the midpoint, which usually means that they're hitting the bid if you throw in a midpoint. But it's at 2 by 3. So I just got some 2 halves. And when I say insta-filled, here's what I mean by that. I don't know. It seems obvious to me. I don't know if it's obvious to everybody. Like when it's sitting here at 601 by 602, if you put in a midpoint on most of the gateways, you're essentially removing liquidity. Like you're getting filled right away. You're not sitting at the midpoint. I was getting filled instantly at the mid. But yeah, Open Door trying to go now. Kind of give it to this 595, let's call it. So 7 cents worth of risk, which is still reasonable as it's trying to go. I don't think if it gets to VWAP, the day's probably over. So you can't wait for the volume weighted average price, which was good earlier. Just looking for this to hold this little squeeze that it's got above the high of the day. But if we end up losing this prior high, let's just jump out of it. It's finally holding $6. So we never got the dip into 575 that we wanted. So we'll try to play it up here into the high of the day. Let us know what you guys are also interested in. I keep looking up to see how that visualizer is going. But it's exactly the same stock as before. It's Open Door by a lot, and then it's Tesla, and then Robinhood, Palantir, and nothing's even close. It's not as if anything's threatening Open Door here. Like that neon stock way down there.
We have a great question here in the chat.
Oh, we do?
Yeah, no, and I just, I want to thank everybody for being in the chat. First of all, get in the chat, hit the like, hit the subscribe, post all of your questions. I feel like we can go into a Q&A at any time, and it's kind of what we're doing right now. And here it is right here. Can retail traders, and Neil and I can both answer this. Well, I'll answer it because we've done it many times. First of all, what is going on right now? Oh, AMD, we're covering some AMD, okay, and we just got out of some more Amazon here as the market's thinking about turning around. Can retail traders also look at the imbalances? So these are the imbalances right here at the end of the day. These are from our broker. We have a special relationship with our broker. It's a tier 1 broker there on the floor of the NYSE, and they just keep updating us with whatever they're seeing there on the floor. So you need to have a broker that's there on the floor. Now, I believe that eSignal does have one, and I'm going to try to look for it and call it up for you at some point here. Here's the eSignal.
Power Hour.
What's up, eSignal? What's up, Power Hour? I mean, right there, tools. For some reason, it's dropping it on my screen above, so you can't actually see me. There are tools. No, why is it doing it up here? Okay, so you're not gonna be able to see me. I'm clicking on tools, and it's opening it up on another screen for me. But all right, I'll get that in. But anyways, good question. Yes, I would just say if you are using another platform, just inquire with them and say that there's imbalance closing and opening market. Imbalance data, and they will be able to do it. I know Arca, there's different gateways that publishes their own, and you may be able to get that on their individual websites as well. So that was a great question, so thank you for that. And then the other thing I wanted to address something else, and it was not about anything related to here. Okay, AMD falling back in, that's fine.
Oh, was it your pick?
Yeah, I could do my pick There was.
Can I have one thing to that discussion about the imbalance?
Darn it! Now it's going to bug me. Yeah, of course.
And just in a general sense, do not be afraid to contact your broker to ask questions.
That's what.
And I mean, like, just straight anything. You get what you think is a bad fill. Ask about it. You think you want to add. These guys always talk about the imbalance locator. These guys talk about halt bands. We don't even see the halt bands. Maybe there's a chance for you to be able to look at the halt bands on the stock, and that's something that you can add or be able to view. Right?
I know
just always ask about anything, and that's what I love about the community is like. Lots of traders will talk about this or that indicator. Well, does your platform have this indicator, that indicator? Well, if they don't, then ask your broker and just inquire all the time. Like at the end of the day, like you want the tools to help you to succeed. And if you don't ask, you don't get them. Here at Real Trading, we ask for things all the time. We'll put in tickets for. I put in tickets wanting to look at halt bands. And hopefully we'll be able to get that. And ultimately, it's up to you. You can't just make the assumption that, well, I'm sure someone else wants it, and they'll ask the question, and it'll eventually get added just because lots of other people want it. I just believe you should be proactive in that kind of a thing. But
this is what I wanted. I actually wanted to do this. So let's go back over to here because we talked about our broker. So I just want to highlight that there is money floating around here on this side of the board at Real Trading. So this is top traders by P&L. So that just goes over all the markets, but here it is right here. So we're going to go over, these are the top 10 traders. And again, it's US dollars P&L here. So let me just quickly fix and make sure that we have some orders to get out of AMD. So yesterday's big winner, let's go. Only traded one market. So these are the markets traded and the amount of money made. So you can see quite discrepancies there yesterday between winners and losers, as you can see that we had 30,000 from the Nasdaq. Then here, what am I doing? Follow this down just a little bit here, give you guys more of a look there. So Canada and TSX right there. So this trader only traded one exchange yesterday. Nasdaq again. So, you have to be entitled to trade some markets. So some traders will only maybe look at Nasdaq if they have market-related strategies, or potentially they're only trading Tesla or something like that. So they don't look everywhere else. This is opposite of what this trader's doing. Amex, it could be the SPYs or anything on NYSE, anything with a .am that you'll see up here, like AMD is .NQ, so that's Nasdaq on our systems there. Nasdaq, someone in Hong Kong. So this is Real Trading. We have over 60 plus live markets right now. So that's Hong Kong there, Nasdaq. So that's who's making money over here at Real Trading. And we always get the same question, well, what about the losers? We don't get to see those, but the losers are there. Trust me when I tell you, all brokerages and firms and stuff like that will have losers, losing traders. And the thing about it here is, no matter how much, Neil or myself make, or Joe Sharif makes or loses, or same thing for us, or anybody trading at real trading, it's a prop floor. So we have the same risk parameters as many of you out there, and that is that we can basically only lose as much as we make, give or take. There's equations involved in all of that. So it's just like if you're averaging, that's why the downside sometimes isn't as bad as you think. If you're if not a bad trader, but if you've only made $500 a day, which is a great take, but if you do make that, then roughly our system will let you lose like 750 or 800 or something like that, give you a little bit of leeway. And then if you clock over your risk parameter, then you're out for the day and stopped out. And you'll hear sometimes Joe or Sharif will say, they're stopped out for the day, and that just means that they've hit their risk limit. It's not that
so you can
getting crushed. It's just they lost.
And when you hit if you're at real trading, when you hit your risk limit, you're allowed to cover positions that you're in.
Right.
But you're not allowed to take any new positions at that particular point. And if you get too far past your shutdown, then you're automatically flattened. And one of the things that builds is it helps to build. Well, you don't have to worry about, you build internal discipline in a different way. Because at the outset, that discipline is 100% external. Like, you are getting stopped out. Like, I don't have to, like, here's an example. Like, I don't have to, like, if I had, like, I'm in open, it goes 605, and then it stops out here. I stop myself out because I don't want it bleeding all the way down. But let's imagine a scenario where you're just like, you're just gonna hold along until it stops you out. Well, at some point, it's gonna control how much you lose. That's an advantage on a prop floor. And when you trade at home, and shout out to all the people that are successful trading without that, or something that controls your losses, that's actually harder to do, I believe, because you have to build that level of discipline yourself. You have to set your own daily stop limit when you're trading your own account, which I can't think I'm lucky to have never had to do. But at the end of the day, it's an important feature. There was something I was looking at that list. You had the list of the top earners up there, and there was something I was going to say specifically with regards to that when you had it up, but I'm now immediately forgetting.
Yeah, I don't know what it was.
It'll come back to me, but when you had it up, I was like, there was a comment I was going to make about the different markets, but
okay,
it'll come back to me.
So right here. All right. Oh, we do get a message here from Chris. So Chris, what's up, my guy? Going into earnings tonight, correct. So that's why we have this up right here. LULU, Docu, Broadcom, UiPath. Would you change? Well, of course, I think everybody would change their pick. I mean, the question is long. So would someone change their pick if it was going to be short? Yes. I mean, I would think that if you're going to look at the results of these, you can almost flip them over and say that someone would choose to go short. For me to go short on any of them without actually looking into it, I just wonder about UiPath. We saw C3AI and their involvement with AI. UiPath is a big AI name. It's a big Cathie Wood name as well. So if we're just going to look here at UiPath, let me just have a quick little look just to see what the chart's at right now. Get this out of here for a second. On UiPath, I mean, not looking good. This actually, when I called this up, I thought this was actually C3AI's chart, to be honest with you. Yeah, underneath the 50-period moving average, underneath the 200-period, looking to test these lows. Sometimes stock move for reasons, and I just wonder, are they going to try to get this into some of these lows again, 52-week lows, just to see if there is buy support over there? So for me, the short would be UiPath. So that's what I would choose there if there was going to be a short. But I don't, DocuSign, Neil chose that for the long name there as well. And because I haven't done my pick yet, my pick again, I supported the industry yesterday. I own a lot of this product. I'm going to choose Lululemon for my long. And the reason why I think Lululemon, you're going opposite here with valuation. Neil, what do you think Lululemon's PE is? If you could guess. Yeah, exactly. It's 13. Okay, its historic PE is 30.
The problem is whenever I know when you ask, it's going to be low.
Right.
So I always guess too low.
Yeah, so that's okay. Hopefully not Troy Tulowitzki. But right there, so I'm going to choose Lululemon again. And the reason why for that is that, again, a 13 PE, Nike's PE is 30 or 40, 35, something like that. A good forward PE. Discounts everywhere on their website right now, Lululemon, right? Coming off of what could have possibly been, I don't know, could have been a good quarter, right? Heading into summer, people spending a little bit of money. We've seen strong retail numbers from names like AEO Palantir today, just for one example. Obviously, they don't have, the sponsorship or anything like that. They just also got a new CIO, Chief Information Officer, starting today, or September 1st, I believe it was, or 2nd, there, day after Labor Day. So I think Lululemon, the guide's going to be a little bit of a problem, but with tariffs, right? Tariffs becoming a little litigated again for tariffs. Like, we know Vietnam's big, obviously, for their production, but now that we see a little more clarity, and I feel like although Donald Trump and the administration have questioned, the tariffs, and hopefully the Supreme Court can uphold and figure that all out, but if the tariffs are outside of Lululemon right now, and we don't have to worry too much about it, for me, I just think beat up, the valuation seems to be okay for Lululemon. So I would choose Lulu over everything else, just based on the way the market has been going there for some of the retail names. And it's going to be hit or miss, right? We saw CRM yesterday was the overwhelming #1 choice for traders yesterday, and they got hit pretty good as well. And again, CRM underneath the 50-period moving average.
I suspect people are treating the question as what would they hold forever, buy and hold forever. Because that explains why CRM got picked, and today everyone seems to like Broadcom.
It's actually very vague, right? The question is you could just choose whatever you want. I mean, I just think it's 10K into one stock. So whether or not you trade out of it tomorrow or not, you're up to you. Like, so because
to be honest, I know for sure that I made both of my picks have been kind of framed under the I'm buying it today and what's going to happen tomorrow on earnings, and I'm right. Which one's going to do the best on the earnings play, not which one would I want to own,
right,
in the long term. So that's,
yeah.
For sure, that's how I've been answering the question.
Right. Nothing to do with that.
Because I would own Broadcom out of those four if I had to buy and hold.
No. You answered the question properly. It's if you could have 10K before earnings. It's not like. We could do more talking about long-term plays, but American Eagle, for example, like I picked it yesterday, the implied move was 12%, so now you're up 35%. So if I put 10 grand in it, and I could cash out 3,500, I would have already been out for 3,000. I would have been out almost off the open if it's an earnings play, and there's a lot of traders that want to swing it. We got David in the chat. He said it's David's wild trade of the day. Remember yesterday you picked Asana, David, and it was in Asana there yesterday.
Well, early.
Yeah, and you had 17, so I don't know if that would be, you wouldn't be able to get out of it after hours, I guess. You could have hedged, I guess. But there today, up to 15 and change, so that still would have been a nice little number there. So I don't know if David's in the chat. Let us know if those options or whatever you decide to take were in the money or out of the money, or what's going on with that right now, because they fell back in again. So that's the risk of not having something happen to you like a AEO where it keeps on going higher. Sometimes some of the best prints are almost right off the jump, and then a downside play there as well. Oh, David is on the chat.
David is in there.
Yes, cash that cow. So congratulations right there for David in the chat. Thank you so much for answering that. Thank you for Andre for noticing that as well. So here he is right here. David, see, we're paying attention, man. Let us know what you did today. I know you got Broadcom in there today, and I think you put something else for a possibility there today for yourself. But for me, for Broadcom, if I were to go, whoa, that's right. We keep on doing that. You gotta be careful with that. 50 period above. I don't know. I know you're gonna have to talk about having puts on this, but remember the implied move here for Broadcom, as I posted up right here, thanks to Adara, it's only 6%. So I would say the move, again, I picked NVIDIA. NVIDIA's move was 6%. I said under. I'm going to go under again, under 6% for Broadcom total move there today, because I think it's going to be a great quarter. But at the same time, I do think that they're going.
Their forward PE.
Their forward PE, 70?
Okay, it's not quite. Their PE was over 100, but their forward's actually 36. So even if they could beat expectations and be over 30, which is higher than the broad market. They could literally beat EPS and still be more expensive than the Nasdaq PE basis. That's just where you get troubling when you've already been, what is it, up 250% from the bottom?
Well, it's the 8th most richest company in the world. This wasn't even $1 trillion company last year. Now it's 1.8 trillion.
132. So I don't know. That's not quite 250%. That's like 230% from essentially from the lows. And again, it could beat expectations on EPS and still trade more expensive than the Nasdaq. Let's go to Adara. We got some news here.
Walmart on watch announcing on its blog that apparently Starting next year, the U.S. frontline and office associates will now have access to AI training through their OpenAI collaboration. So again, Walmart announcing that as of the start of 2026, U.S. employees, both on their front lines and in their offices, are going to have access to AI training through a collaboration with OpenAI. Also, speaking of Broadcom and those expected moves, there will be an expected move infographic posted soon, so you guys can see what the market is looking for all of these major reports tonight, and also what time they're expected to be released. Back to you.
Thank you, of course, Adara. Walmart not really moving too much on that, but Walmart has been moving a lot recently and expanding higher every single day. Like that's what you like. Tesla. You like to see a little bit of acceleration. There's been some acceleration into Walmart, slowing down a little bit. I feel like this has been one of these stocks where when the tech gets going, it kind of loses steam a little bit here. So fair enough. I get it. Some of it's rotation. They're not that cheap either here in Walmart. But yeah, it's tended to extended in this move recently. It's tended to have more extension late in the day if the tech stocks aren't going, for lack of a better. Yeah, that's just the analysis. This is what's going on with Walmart. I like the company. I think it's getting a little pricey up here. All right, SMCI is back into the volume-weighted average price.
A little more. Yeah.
Going to look to. It's just going to reload this at VWAP, so it gets into VWAP before. We'll jump right back in, essentially the quarters to the 40-30 level, and it played back all the way to just about 40 even before bouncing. So I'll give it another shot here, but with only about 45 minutes to go, you want this to close under VWAP. I don't want this. If we start holding VWAP, I got to jump out of this trade. No questions asked. And TGBM, I love Walmart in the long term as well. I think they hit on a lot of good cylinders. I've even up here in Canada, like their delivery is pretty good.
Walmart,
there's been times where, and don't get me wrong, like 90 whatever percent of the stuff that gets delivered to my house is Amazon. But there's been some times where it's like, Walmart for this and Walmart for that. And every now and then it'll be just as fast a delivery and I'll get a better price. It's rare, but it does happen. I do like Walmart for that as well. And of course, when you start throwing in their lack, it's really about the fact that they sell so much in groceries. It's insulated them a lot from the tariff issues because so much of it is local because groceries are going to be local. So that's been good for them regardless of all the turmoil we've been seeing. Target can't say that.
No, Target's on to $92, so not a good look there.
Can't go down.
I'm going to go short one more time right here at 161.50. Like I'm just actually going to wait for 48s. Like it just got to 46, I didn't take it. So I'm going to wait for 48s, give it 15 cents up through 60. If it breaks that, we're gone. We've obviously done well here enough, to sort of support this play. So let's just continue to do that here with AMD and see if it can eventually give us what we need it to, and that is a short and then pull it back. But I could see some of the chip names starting to go up in anticipation of Broadcom, right? I mean, NVIDIA is not doing much there as well, but in anticipation for a huge name, I could definitely see a Broadcom going to the upside. Tesla, like, come on, guys. There it goes, man. Tesla right back to where we initially got out near the highs. I'm going to sneeze. Near the highs of the day. Excuse me, I did not mute that. My bad.
I never get to the fast. We used to have a button on the screen.
Normally I just quickly, my thing's right here. Look, there it is. Like now I'm muted. It's very easy to do it. And now I'm unmuted again. So I know a lot of you, hopefully I stay muted, but all right, so Tesla up to 337 again. Short because it's all the way back, but wow, what a well-traveled name today. And I think that, Neil and I, we always get questions about Tesla and what's going on with it. And the thing is that we always say, like, waiting for it to do something. And that's, you're either dead on the short up here, as you just keep on hoping that it's going to retrace back down, and it doesn't. Here I don't want to say I wasn't dead, but we lost. It's the only losing trade we have today. Down here on the downside, where we were able to take a 250 on that first play. That's 335 up to 337.50. We should have just cashed it all out. But then it comes back in and we get a little bit more. We get some of that out, and then whoops, comes back in again and then dropped out there at the end. And the reason why is this is like 20, 30%, maybe that's like 10 or 15%. Every out we try to take is about 10%. So when we lose, I get stopped out, and that's like my max stop out. So when I get stopped out, generally speaking, it'll be for the whole kit and caboodle. So we don't, I don't have it there, and we got stopped. But anyways, Tesla is still looking to work as well. Let's check in on some of the energy plays today. XOM, you know, we've seen some nice moves. I think upside today, yeah, in energy. We had a bad day yesterday as we got crushed right back then there. 116 down to 111, 112 yesterday. So no surprise there that we're getting a little bit of a relief rally today. As look at this, man, 7 or 8 straight days to the upside there, maybe 10 for XOM, and then falling right back in. We like XOM. I like CVX as well. Chevron. If I was going to play the energy space, I am playing it with XLE, so you guys know I'm in that one. But Chevron or ExxonMobil seem to be working. I mean, Chevron, what a great load up down there around that 136 as you sort of gave yourselves an area. And that's what I was saying, man. Good companies fall into levels and it tells you what it wants to do.
Most reliable dividend in the market.
I feel like Palantir, yeah, good dividend there. I feel like Palantir is doing the same thing right now on the daily, but we just needed to go in order to look back and say that was right. So we wait for that. A new position, the same one that we had the whole time, just more shares. AMD, we're short now, 161.45. So we put on 2 units here. Let's see if it wants to work. It's a decent sized position, but our stop is 15 cents from now. So if it goes up through 161, we're stopped out. We are not playing that game, man. Yesterday, we got out of a couple shorts late as the market just drifted higher. So we're going to learn our lesson and not let this do any damage to our P&Ls here. Just watch out for it. Nice move right now. Oh, we missed a super chat.
It was Bob. It was Bob again. Bob
what's up,
the
Bob?
dog.
What's up, Bob the dog?
Asking about Marvell. Just simply Marvell. Thank you. So appreciate Bob the dog. Canadian dollars. You in Canada? Bob, you in Canada? Where you from, brother? You don't have to tell us, but if you feel like sharing, obviously we're in Canada. And a lot of people asked us about some, do we have Walmart in Canada? Of course we have Walmart. We don't have Sam's, though. No. So, like, there's Walmart and there's Costco, but there's no Sam's Club here in Canada. Don't know particularly why that is. I don't know. They probably have trouble at this point beating out Costco's. Costco's pretty popular here in Canada. So for Marvell, this would be the day for me that you get the confirmation on the old 3-day rule. Right? It dipped on earnings, caught a bid, and has held that bid. Caught a bid, held the higher low, so now I think you're good to go. Like I'm favoring longs on this tomorrow. It even, the market's going up. Obviously, that's going to be true, but it's been steady Eddie buying, and you've held this higher low at $61.50, $62. So as long as it's above that tomorrow, I think this one's a good to go to try to fill in a little bit of this gap. And that's been a really good play in this particular earnings cycle. We've just had all of these. I mean, Amazon's the first one that comes to mind, but there's been lots of others. Where you get this dip and what doesn't seem like that bad of a quarter, maybe a poor guide, you give it a couple of days, it catches a low, and then you're filling in the gap within a couple of weeks. And you've at least held that bottom on Marvell. So it passes the old 3-day rule, and let's go to Adara.
Is keep an eye here on ConocoPhillips. The company reportedly, sorry, I'm having issues pulling up the chart here, but it's worth noting the company reportedly is going to be starting layoffs as early as November 10th, according to a state notice. So again, in case you missed it yesterday, ConocoPhillips reportedly announced plans to lay off 20 to 25% of its workforce. Those layoffs could start in about 2 months, guys. Back to you.
2 months, okay. Just quickly here, the stop is almost going to trigger, and I don't feel some kind of ways. It's not really any sort of a thing to the P&L today, but it's just, we saw yesterday the market drift up throughout the whole afternoon. I mean, I think we were short. Was it the TQs or must have been the futures? And it just, wow, look at it today. I mean, it's even more dramatic when I look at it on the TQQs, of course. But, yesterday into the afternoon, it was kind of doing nothing. And then this is what happened basically at 3:30. We drifted all the way up on this name. It was a nice move down until it just was doing nothing. And I was like, I think this must have been what it was. We were shorting right into there, 88, only for this thing to close at 89 and change. But we did finally smarten up and flipped up on the imbalances. If you remember when the imbalances came out, we were able to flip over and go long. So that turned out to be a pretty decent call at that point. But at the end of the day, right now, this is what the Nasdaq looks like, just telling all the bears to basically take a hike and go get some relaxing moments there for the bears. But it hasn't been a relaxing moment at all. I do want to look to see what names are moving around here just briefly as we head into today's close. It's only right now a half hour left till we get those imbalances, a little bit more than that. But pretty green, man, on the day. We have the ES right now, and the Nasdaq is up. What did I say the Nasdaq was up again? Nasdaq is up right now 0.79. The SPY and the ES is up 0.7. So wow, there goes JPMorgan, and we could not be happier. I know we took some out, but we took out 10 or 15%. So we're really happy with JPMorgan, man. Taking out, I don't know if it's all new all-time highs. Let me just double check this for JPM. This is my tariff call. Yes, there it is, 304. Yes, sir, we like it. Shout out to anybody buying the banks there. And we bought this one. This was the play that I actually held through. We actually picked this up before April, right into here. So again, JPMorgan makes this move right there, March. And then I was like, you know what? I like it in and around this level, 230, the 200 period moving average. Then it went all the way up into 250. And I was like, yeah, that's pretty good. But we wanted to get going a little bit more. And then all of a sudden, Trump drops the bomb on the market that we all know about. And then since then, straight upside right now. So it's been good. We got nothing out except for yesterday here at 3 bills. So it's nice to see, because we were waiting at 303, did not catch it, but we did yesterday. So good job there, as all of the bank names, not just, I'm saying Canadian good job to myself, but it's been a good job to everybody, because we've been talking about XLF, and I did a thing on it the other day. The XLF was new all-time highs. So
yeah, it's popping.
Yeah, it's popping. Amazon right there, 4% today. That's a good one. There are some technology names that are downside. We see Salesforce. So anything SAS today, software as a service, Intuit, down, right? So that's the tax. So that's a software as a service there. Now, ServiceNow, very, very similar to CRM in the customer relations management space. Figma, obviously hitting down with Adobe. Workday, exact same thing. So all of this space, if you're going to see something in red here today, it's probably something to do with a software as a service, because other than that, man, everything looking pretty good. We just heard from Adara on Conoco. I did a little bit of work there. I showed you some XOM. There's COP right there. EOG as well. Resources there. I don't see FANG. Oh, there. I was gonna say I don't see FANG, but it's right there. FANG again. Diamondback Energy. That's FANG. They're up 0.5%. So yeah, as far as the market is concerned, many up sectors today. I'm not sure if there's a red one right now, unless there was software as a service as a sector. But the technology space, man, just keeps on ripping high side right now. We could have just got out of AMD for flat, but did not. We're going to wait to see what happens over there. Amazon still $3. That's kind of doing nothing. We've been doing well getting out of Amazon. There goes AMD. So we will have to slap a fail on it. We don't give back our day or anything on it, but there goes AMD. Actually, the first trade was this afternoon. So down there, reloaded, and then out on that top break for advanced micro devices. Fine. That was a risky trade to take in the first place. You know, hindsight being what it is, should not have taken that. And we talked about it, at least when we were in it, that it didn't look the greatest. And that's what it's doing right now. AMD floating with, I'm assuming, Broadcom.
Well, no, everything's going. I mean, the Nasdaq's gliding higher, but SMCI broke VWAP. So we reloaded it, VWAP a second time. The second time it does not work out. So I'm out once we hold above the volume weighted average price. The market just keeps on gliding. Sometimes we get that pullback, but I feel like even if you're trading a weaker name, like a stock that's relatively weak, it doesn't matter if the market keeps going up. Eventually a stock like SMCI is going to try to follow it. Jedi asked about Trade Desk and Micron heading into their earnings. I can give you... I haven't looked at Trade Desk in quite some time. I'll get that one out of the way. Micron is, I don't want to say it's certainly one of the strongest chip names today. ARM's having a good day as well. I don't know if anything's going to be stronger than this. But what's been interesting about Micron is it feels to me like there's been accumulation on this stock. Kind of like you see what's happening in Palantir when you look at the 50 period. Like it pulls back off an obvious high. Like see the clear double top at 130. Like that's a big technical top. And when Micron has a technical top, like it tends to really show you that it does. And then it's a world of trouble. But it's accumulating with a higher low. So I think this looks primed. It looks really good here, holding above that 50 period. And the accumulation going into the print. You need to chew through this 130. Micron is notorious for establishing a high and then going months without being able to break through that wall. But when it does, it's really good. So yeah, I think you're going to want to make sure that you're not, like I wouldn't be buying it at 130. I think you need to be getting it 10 to 15% underneath that price so that you can run it into that high and be good to go. Because eventually when it breaks out, this can be a spectacular stock. But the stock will go sideways for a long time. That's just how it is. It's not always the cleanest trending stock in the world. So, you just got to be prepared for that. It's very highly cyclical, too. And it'll really trap you sometimes where the valuation will get really good for what seems like too long a period of time, but then it's just going sideways. It's sturdy like that with Micron.
All right, I'm going to try, whoops. Okay, what did I just do? Oh, that's why, okay. I was gonna try, I put the wrong price again. I was gonna try a break here, maybe downside, potentially on the TQQs. So this is the Nasdaq again, right? I mean, it's just been basically this is just the 21 period. I haven't really used it too much. I've been looking at it though, so we'll see if there's any sort of use there for that. But this is the 50 period moving average, so we've just been riding this thing the whole way up. We did have a dip down and we did break it right there just for a couple pennies at $90, but since then it's been straight up $1 on TQQ. So for me, if we break it right there, what about this level? So I want to put an order in, or do we want to go here? Why don't we go here? $90.85, $90.79, something like that. If we break below that price right there, I think it's worth a shot.
Oh shoot, so far.
Because that will give us a confirmation that we've broken the 50 period moving average by decently, right? Not just like right there, but let's actually break it and then break through a level. Like that's another one right here. You could get a little bit earlier, 90.90, but let's go 10 cents more and go to 90.79 or so on this kind of a break. So if we can break below, I'm just bringing it up now in case it happens. You see me get into it. We did bad by shorting AMD, but we did good by getting out. I mean, it ripped all the way to 80s. We got out at 60, so that was a nice move right there to the upside as well. But yeah, we're gonna wait to see. So that's gonna be a trade for me. The TQs breaking back down below $90.80-ish. That's gonna be a trade. So that's something that we're gonna look for there. Oscar, yeah, Oscar $50. I didn't get out of anything, and you know what? I don't think I'm going to be honest with you. I'm gonna look to see tonight how much we have on this. But this was a great earnings call. It came back into here, into earnings. We bought it live on the show, similarly to how we're talking now. But I didn't talk like I would buy Broadcom, I would buy Lululemon or anything like that. I did buy Oscar before earnings, and it wasn't the greatest. It was only up 2 or 3% off earnings, but since then it's really had a nice move up, another 4.5%. So yeah, I like the space. Right now with UNH trying to make a battle back here in the healthcare space, 310. UNH is low as what, 240 or something ridiculous like that? Two. Wow. This is the thing. No matter what, political or macro or anything like that, sometimes names just get clubbed way too much, and easy to say that looking back because everybody and their uncle could have bought UNH down here. There's a lot of volume. There was a lot of talk about it. There's so many people that were deciding, hey, UNH was a play that Warren Buffett was going to get into, that a lot of these value investors potentially were going to drop into. And, that seemed to have worked out absolutely perfect. If you got in even at 250, even if you played this wick there, that's 250 back to May. So if you got in at 250, you're now $60 in the money on that play. So you're about 30% or more in on that rate. No, not 30% or more, about 25% or so in on that play already in a matter of 3 weeks, a little bit less.
The low is 30%. It's 30% off the bottom.
Yeah, 240. I was just saying, it's only $60. Well, 312. Yeah, so $70. Yeah, so exactly. So yeah, it was right there. Yeah, 30%. So 30% off the bottom on UNH. We struggle all the time looking for winners, and sometimes they're just staring at you right in the face. And I think that's what UNH was doing there. So a lot of love for UNH in the market these days. Let's see if the same love can go for Oscar. What's up, Adara?
And OKLO here, OKLO. This is reported about 20 minutes ago by Bloomberg, just seeing it circulating on social media now. Apparently, the company is planning a first-of-its-kind facility in Tennessee valued at $1.68 billion, so almost $1.7 billion facility in Tennessee. This facility will reportedly be converting nuclear waste into fuel to power the company's advanced reactors. So OKLO here with a $1.6 billion nuclear facility catalyst here. Again, reported by Bloomberg. Back to you.
You'd think that would...
the daily chart.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be doing much, OKLO, but the one that... The thing that would scare me a little bit about positive headlines in the space is we got one for SMR yesterday. And seemingly it was all systems go. Like the stock, it caught a phantom bid because somebody obviously knew it was going to happen 2 days ago. And then there was follow through when they got a positive press release with Tennessee, a good deal with Tennessee. And it gives up the entirety of the move and then some here today, down 11% SMR. So sometimes it gets a little frothy. I own this one. And you got to wonder, when they start selling off after positive news, I start wondering where the next bottom is going to be. And I'm looking very, very keenly at the 200. It's respected the 200 on this entire bull move. I think we could see a revisit of that if this trend continues in SMR. So I'll be a little skeptical of that Oklo. They're each their own thing. But that's been holding up. When you look at SMR, like this has been holding up pretty well. So you've just got a piece of good news as you're at support. If you don't hold support after the good news, I think you're looking for a deeper dip. Like the reaction, how a stock reacts to news, I think sometimes is just as important as anything else to give you a guide as to what's going to happen next. I don't own this one. I've said that already. Ed Miller asking LULU or Broadcom. If I'm only picking between the two, I'll pick LULU. Because I just don't, I'm just concerned about, I just have a bad feeling about Broadcom. And it going up now doesn't even make me feel any better. Oh no, what's wrong with my AVGO? I'm having afternoon chart syndrome sometimes where I'll be missing half of the day on that one. But look, Broadcom, and one of the things that I don't necessarily love about it is A, the reaction NVIDIA got to its earnings, and then B, the fact that because they could beat and still be expensive when you're already priced to perfection and you're up so much from the lows, there's just a lot that has to break right in a scenario like this for you to get an upward move. So I think they disappoint. Now, I'm not sitting here thinking Broadcom's going to go down 10% or 12% or anything crazy. I just think even if it's good, they might just be down a point or two. Even if we beat across the board, you could beat top and bottom. You can have the full year guidance get raised, and then you could have one small issue with maybe the margins, or possibly just the next quarter guide could come in a tiny bit light, and then you're down 2 or 3%. It's just not going to take much. They'll just be able to nitpick something, I think, with Broadcom. Whereas Lulu, what bad can they say about Lululemon here? Can it get any worse?
It can get worse.
No, I mean, look, it obviously can get worse, but it's just it's already been pretty bad in here. They don't have to be perfect. It's almost the opposite. You're just looking for a kernel of strength with Lulu. And that's how this cycle has been going. And I just look at what the earnings cycle has been. Before we go over, just very quickly, I'm still hunting for a trend break on SOFI, which is also doing this crazy chart thing, but it doesn't matter. It's literally breaking the upward trend right now. I don't have to draw the trend line. SOFI, VWAP will be incorrect because it's missing some data, but it has broken trend. So I'm looking for the short here into the high of the day.
All right, traders, listen up here. We are offering your first month free. That's right. We are waiving fees. Trade smarter, not harder. Upgrade to an elite trading strategy with eSignal. Get your elite charting platform as well. Infinite data, instant trading, lightning fast market insights, game-changing charts, as Neil and I will always pull them down and have a look at them. Predict with your backtesting, a great backtesting tool on here as well, with tick replays, reliable real-time data, and global markets. As we talk about the markets going 24/7, eSignal has all of the entitlements ready for you. Just let them know which markets you're looking for, and they will activate them for you. This is one free month. Scan that QR code. Don't miss out right now. You can actually even attach your trade platform via many apps or whatever in the app store. So again, connect your charting with your trading, execute right on the chart your trade. So eSignal, a big advantage there for users. The tick replay is huge on eSignal as well. We want to thank them for that first month for free.
You know where it's really cool, that tick replay, is on IPOs. Because I think what'll happen is the reason IPOs is you're making so much instantaneously. And I think a lot of times, we talk about it all the time, it's oh man, took too much out in that initial up move, because you don't always think it's going to halt right away. That's been more of a recent thing. But if you watch the tick replay, it kind of slows it down for you. You can go in and see what should I be looking for to take some profit. Instead of just hitting offer enter every single dollar because it's a round dollar, you can have an idea of where this is moving on a percentage basis. If the bid comes in after 5 seconds, 10 seconds, maybe that's a spot that you can hold on for another 5-10 second leg, whatever it might be. And tick replay is really valuable for that. I know a lot of traders that use it because you want to optimize the things that are working best for you. And if you have a trade which is literally about 5 minutes, that open trade, it's you hold it for 5 minutes, you might want to take a look and just replay it over and over again. Because how many IPOs do you even get to trade? There's one every couple of months. You don't have data. When you're tape reading momentum plays, every single day you have information. For the IPOs, you don't have information every day. So tick replay allows you to get extra hours in or extra reps going over that same idea, especially when it's lucrative. So SOFI did break trend. This is really a good feature in P-Pro 8 is, well, my chart missing data on the 3-minute, I can just go to my 15-minute and draw the trend line there and it transfers over. So I know it broke the trend line. And I jumped in, giving it to the high of the day. Ooh, that was a good question. Ken, thoughts on September generally being a weak month, or is the dip already over? Statistically speaking, it is true. You can just look it up. So September is usually a weak month. My approach, I try to treat it, as a trader, I try to treat it as I have an open mind and I try not to pay too much attention to those things as a day trader. Because I don't know how that helps me every single day. Because there's going to be bullish stocks and bearish stocks, and I'm paying attention to price action. I don't want to just go into a month and be like, well, it's September 1st, now I'm short biased. I just never seen that work at all. I remember there was, maybe a couple of years ago, August was always a slow volatility month. You're like, yeah, August isn't going to do anything for us. And then it was like the greatest month ever. It was a couple of years ago.
You got to watch.
As a trader, you can't be too wrapped up in that. I would suppose if you're like a really long swing investor or something on different time frames, you're going to care more about that. You're holding swings for weeks and months, and that's your bag. I get it. Maybe you care about that kind of market sentiment. I don't really. And I've never really paid too much attention to it. The farthest I'll go with cyclicality and that kind of thing is, maybe I'll be more apt to take a vacation if I can take advantage of like a market holiday or something. That's where I'll care about the calendar for the most part. Yeah, and to each their own. Like, I'm not saying that's the only way to look at it. Certainly that's not true. I'm sure there's plenty of people that look at that kind of market cyclicality and get something out of it. But when you're day trading, I don't necessarily think it's all that valid, because you need to be more focused on the price action and what's driving the stock in the moment, as opposed to the overreaching. Like, you can have the market be generally down as a trend, but then you can sit there and have the best strategy be dip buying in the open. It could be true. Like, look at Palantir. Palantir is a really good dip buy in the open range stock. So it can go down like 7 out of 10 days and yet somehow just be your best long, because that's the way that the stock moves. So I think just have an open mind.
All right, I have an announcement to make. Reach 100 users. I don't want to promote this. How do I get rid of that? No. All right. There it is. Just bought some LULU in the swing account ahead of earnings tonight. So thoughts. We put this in here if you guys want to go and have a quick look. I made the move. I asked the wife, I said, what do you think about LULU tonight? She said she got to go buy new leggings. I'm long. Right there, Lululemon. So let's wait to see what winds up happening. I just went in there, bought some shares. Let's wait to figure out what's going on with Lululemon. I hate buying them up 3% heading into earnings. The implied move, though, today on earnings, I'm going to go check out to see what you guys think. I mean, you can tell me right now in the chat. You don't have to put it necessarily in Twitter there. But I just recently went in there, bought some Lululemon. So there it is right there. Let's go find what the expected move was. Didn't I just say it was 6%? So it's not like I'm thinking that we're going to, yeah, there it is right now, 12%, sorry. Where was the 5.6%? Oh, that was Broadcom, right, my bad, right there. So I don't own any Lululemon, it's gonna be the first time. Well, I owned it before, we've sold it. This was, talking about a hell of a long time ago, like basically at IPO, like when we were talking about how, the quality at the time, they were like the only one in the business producing these higher quality pants. And right now, they're Lululemon right now, expected move of 12%. So we've got a couple in there today. So we'll see if there is going to be a movement there at all. So we'll figure out today where Lululemon goes. We're in this name ahead of earnings. So there it is, man. We're hopefully going to see. We're here to have some fun. Let's have some fun. All right, so Amazon, we're having a hell of a lot of fun with Amazon, and right now, heading into the imbalances. Nice move up there for Amazon. Neil, it's not a $1 winner. It's actually not even a $2 winner. It is a $3 winner on Amazon today, and it's been an all-day kind of a trade where we are long early, then long early later, but early still at the 200 period moving average. Oh boy, that was a good dip buy opportunity there for LULU or for Amazon. And again, just to show you guys, almost 60,000 followers. Thank you so much for all of that love on Twitter as well. I tweeted this out too about Elon Musk. Right now, Tesla robo-taxis in California will drop the safety driver by end of 2025. End of 2025, that's 3 months from now. So thank you, Elon Musk, for that there as well. And then coming into right here, Amazon long today, Tesla long today, both of those trades printing for sure. So congratulations to anybody that has anything like that, but it's those trades right there today that were pretty good, and we're now long, of course, into LULU. So we'll see if there's any sort of love for that name here tonight. Broadcom, Lululemon, the big ones, and then UiPath could give something there. And other than that,
and Docu.
And DocuSign. Yeah. I knew I was missing one other name there. Not Copart.
There's a couple.
But and DocuSign as well. So I know Neil likes DocuSign. I like Lululemon. I just put a little bit of money in there. So let's see what happens with Lululemon tonight. But $3.50 on Amazon. Congratulations to anybody that has that. P&L 1 for me today.
Only 5 minutes to go till the imbalances. CVE, $3 million to the sell side early look. It's the first time we've actually had something with a reasonable early look imbalance. NEO early, well, that's from the morning. NEE sell imbalance 650,000 as well. So nothing too crazy outside of CVE. You see Kenvue there pretty much every single day. The only new trade was getting into SOFI on a trend break. This is not the correct volume average price because my chart is missing a little bit of data. The reason I like 25.25, I'll just go out to the 15-minute chart and zoom it out so that you can see. This is where SOFI is making the curl. This is where prior resistance was at 25.25. So where do I expect to bounce? Right off the 25.25. So we're short essentially in front of the 50s and playing it back to 25.25. Just looking for a 1-point pullback here on SOFI late in the day with 4 minutes to go until the imbalances come in here. And yeah, I mean, look, someone was like, I'm seeing a lot of questions about DocuSign as the earnings go. So again, into 25.25, like simple trade, I can cancel my offer actually. And now that it's hit the halfway point, I tend to move my stop. I don't give it to the high of the day or the prior bar high. I then give it to the local high. So now I have a local stop, which is effectively break even on the trade. And that's with anything that's going to be a mean reversion or a pullback into the mean. Now we can go back and talk about DocuSign. Like what I think about those 4 names, I don't particularly like any of them, to be honest with you guys. Like I think yesterday when we talked about American Eagle, I think it was an easier pick to like the long in the stock. DocuSign, I just think provides the best risk to reward opportunity out there, that if it is going to rip higher, I can see a path to the high double digits here, like for it to go 15, 20%. I see a reason why it could do that with an obvious sort of floor, which is less than 10% from here to the downside. So I just like the risk to reward out of those 4, but overall, not a big fan of them. I don't really like it. I like Broadcom, but I don't like it tonight. So I would go with DocuSign just from a technical standpoint, and that's all I would be looking for there. And I do see, let's be real, this market is like unabated to the quarterback. Kind of like how I hope the Philadelphia Eagles defense has a lot of unabated to the quarterback moves, not just because I'm starting them in one of my fantasy leagues, but because we've put half of our suicide pool entries on the Philadelphia Eagles tonight.
Let's go Eagles.
So hopefully their defense is they have a good
defense.
It is just as strong as the SPY, which is pretty much cruising to the highs, the Nasdaq cruising to the highs. That's why if you're trading anything to the short side in an afternoon like this, have a specific reason where you want to get in and why. Have yourself an out because the overall market has just been slowly grinding. There's something really cool about these grinding, boring days to the upside. I love them because it's a great sign overall for like the health of the market. Like we dip at the open and then we just spend the rest of the day going higher. And it was a strong dip at the open on volume. And then we just spend the rest of the day buying it back up. That just tells you money's pouring into the market.
All right, so I don't know what just spiked into Lululemon here, if they heard that my wife needs new leggings or what, but there it goes right now. So we're long just over 205, and there's the nice little bump up. So this is just happening. Like, you can rewind the tape, man. We're already $1.50 in the money right now on Lululemon. The price I got was 205.40 or something like that. So there it is right there. That's the break price. My price 205.30 and change. But there it goes up about $1.50 in the money. I obviously just playing around. I'm not getting out of anything here on Lululemon, but there was the move on Lulu. So pay attention, everybody. If you're in anything here, I'm in Lululemon. We're just going to wait to see where it goes from here, up to 206 and change. Look, this name could dramatically fall. Let's just wait to see. That low is 180 and change. We'll pick some more up if it fails, but let's find out the news before we get going on that one. Nice little move there for Lululemon. All right, moments away now, guys, for the imbalance. So let's have a quick look. I'm going to just sort this out. We're going to get rid of the broker feed right now, and we're just going to look because as of, and by the way, Amazon's still going higher. That's $3 right now. So as soon as 350 comes, then we will get an update on all of these. You can see these are all from 9:30 and earlier. Any IPO shows up on here and things like that. So yeah, the Lulu, I'd rather have not chased this name today, and I wish we would have got into this yesterday or the day before, but obviously on American Eagle's news today, Lululemon already up 3+%. So if you're already in it, you know, congratulations. You may want to take some out. Up 4% there today. I don't know. Another recent name that we bought was Eli Lilly, LLY. We can have another look at that one as well. We picked that up at 640 as well as some at 750. So I think it's just back to 750 now, but picks them up at 640 is all right. 2, 1, here we go. The imbalances are now out. So let's see where we go from here. Let's look at the NVIDIA buy, Apple buy, AT&T buy. UiPath sell. This is an earnings name, so someone getting ahead of that. Google with a buy. So this should be sending my Amazon through the moon. That's GOOGLE and L going upside. There goes NVIDIA as well. Let's check out what's going on with Amazon. This, of course, is the name that I have on board. So here we go. Right back into highs of the day. So let's take advantage of that one there on Amazon as we go upside there into the high of the day. We're just long right here. Good trading on Amazon. I guess I can cancel my TQQ trade because that doesn't look like it's going to go lower here. We're going to go short if it broke through 90.80. Doesn't happen there. Join Adair and myself on the after hours show, and we'll be recapping a little bit of today's moves. We won't be doing too much of that. It'll be more all about the earnings. So we have DocuSign, Broadcom.
There's a lot of names today.
Yeah, Broadcom, the big one today.
That's the thing. When it's busy with earnings, there's a lot to cover, and the implications of Broadcom, of course, are going to be rather large because they're such a big part of the Nasdaq and the S&P 500. You already mentioned some of the smaller names. The overall market is a 1.9 billion buy. Nasdaq 860, Mag 7 500 to the buy side. UiPath of 1 million shares to the sell side. Remember, they do report tonight. Usually you don't actually see that. You know, a stock that's reporting has a big imbalance on it. I actually find that's pretty rare. I can't think of a time that's been that significant, but just keep in mind, it's a $10 stock. So 1 million shares of a $10 stock is not that big of a notional imbalance, and it's done 25 million shares in the day. That's why you're not seeing a large reaction in UiPath there on that imbalance. So I'd say it's pretty much of a nothing burger. That CVE ended up being nothing, so that came out as a nothing burger. Tomorrow, they're knock on wood, but there's a pretty big deal closing. That's Foot Locker. So Dick's Sporting Goods buying Foot Locker. It's what could be spicy about it's like you can take cash or stock, which makes it a little bit more volatile, which I do like. So that's one to watch tomorrow. Didn't really do much of anything today. Although Dick's Sporting Goods had a really good day today.
Yeah.
To the upside. SOFI bounced, but didn't quite get to 25.25. It bounced off 25.30, so I'm just jumping out of the trade. Wherever it bounced in front of that support, we're going to get out of it. It made the trend break, a little bit of follow through, but not quite that 1 point move back into 25.25, which tomorrow in SOFI, that's going to be a key price. Like, look at it, hold the double bottom at 24.25. And then prior resistance turning into support at 25.25 here on SOFI. I want it to close above this price so you can look for the long extension back into 26 tomorrow, but we'll be keying in on that. 3.5% up because it's not Sydney Sweeney, but a pretty good sponsor that they picked up or endorsement.
Remember, I mean, SOFI is getting a huge move. I mean, the whole financials is probably one of the strongest.
Or it was just about Josh Allen. No.
today. Yeah, I mean, what's Robinhood up as well today?
Josh Allen, baby.
3%. So yeah, so they're good move there for Josh Allen. We'll hope that, again, recently married. We'll hope for good success for the Buffalo Bills and hopefully not another disappointing year for the Bills. Okay, so all right, let's go. Tesla in the end of the day here, what a big move, up higher and higher and higher and still going. I don't even know what's going on here. Normally at my house for NFL, my wife will make something. I think she was saying a chicken chowder or a chili or something tonight, but we're at the Diamond pretty much all night, so I don't know if we're going to be doing anything. If I can maybe barbecue up some wings when I get home or something real quick before we go there. We have to be at the Diamond for 7, so we got to leave our house around 6:30. So I don't know what we'll be doing there. The game is probably 8 o'clock or so. I would assume 8:30. There's the banner raised and everything for the Eagles tonight as well. So, yeah, shout out to everybody watching football there tonight. All right, 3:54, only 6 minutes left, and then get ready, man. I think it's going to be a really good market recap with Adair and I as we go over all of the earnings and have some fun talk. It's just a half hour. Stay tuned and join us then. But let's go throw it over to Neil.
Yeah, let's do it, because every trader knows that if you want to grow, you have to risk more. Well, at least that's how it used to be. Trade the Pool is changing that. It's the new revolution in stock trading. You don't need a large deposit. Trade the Pool is built for any trader who wants to grow without putting everything on the line, just small skin in the game, and you're trading with real capital. So here's how it works. You pay a one-time evaluation fee starting at $47, and that's your total risk. From there, you trade real shares, no CFDs, using company capital. Head to tradethepool.com or scan the QR code and on the screen, and good luck with Trade the Pool. You just saw just the headline there for NVIDIA, but also importantly, 355 just hit, so those imbalances, NVIDIA pared down to 1.1, it was 3, I believe. Apple pared down to 900,000, now 850,000, but NVIDIA still going higher. Buy imbalance on NVIDIA, but you also just saw a positive headline. I didn't quite get a chance to read it before it popped off screen. NVIDIA, not that big of a day today compared to what the market has been able to do. The Qs have doubled NVIDIA and are breaking highs. Well, NVIDIA cannot seem to get through 172.5. See, that's another good breakout level. There's a lot of stocks at some key inflection points coming into tomorrow morning, which is always a fun thing. Some that have broken through like SOFI, some that you would like to break through like NVIDIA.
Yeah, I hope everybody enjoys everything tomorrow. I'm going to be off tomorrow. Obi will be in this seat. Thank you, Sid, and everybody in the chat for that. And what's up to Adam DeLuz? Hopefully you're having a good day as well. Thanks for being in the chat and for saying what's up. What's up, Adara? What up?
Yeah, keep an eye here on CoreWeave CRWV dropping after the information reports that NVIDIA this summer agreed to rent 10,000 of its own AI chips from the cloud firm Lambda, so not from CoreWeave. CRWV dropping after this story. Apparently, this rental from Lambda is going to be for $1.3 billion worth over 4 years. Again, that's going to be NVIDIA renting 10,000 of its own chips, reportedly valued at $1.3 billion over 4 years. Back to you.
Lambda? Isn't that the fraternity from Revenge of the Nerds? Yes.
I just don't know enough. Yeah, I don't know enough about why NVIDIA would be renting their own chips from CoreWeave.
I think we know enough to know CoreWeave's kind of.
I just don't understand. I just don't understand the business for CoreWeave. I don't understand how that. Why would NVIDIA do that? I don't understand.
I was never a huge fan of the CoreWeave business. And again, like. If you bought it at the IPO, you won huge. So I guess.
Oh yeah, or listen to Kramer. You won
it's
huge.
Just you won huge, exactly. So I'll give you that. But just like Circle, it's in its own personal bear market. Both of those stocks. Actually, no, it's not. Forget about those two stocks. Throw in Figma. Throw in Bullish. All of the recent high-flying, all those great IPO trades that have been so fantastic the last quarter, they're all in bear markets while the market's pressing higher. So keep that in mind. So in addition to this news, I mean, CoreWeave was probably a short tomorrow anyways, just based on like a flat bottom break here. Like it's literally at local bottoms after flushing. Like every time it's popped a little bit, we flush again. And when it broke 100, it gave you a nice move. Now it's breaking under $87. So I feel like there's going to be a CoreWeave continuation look tomorrow. And pay for locates is one of the first things I'll do in the morning. You don't have to use them, but I'm certainly going to pay for them tomorrow morning, whether it's the headline or not. This was a weak stock regardless, I think. And it didn't really matter that we got a headline late in the day. CoreWeave's been bleeding anyways.
Yeah, CoreWeave not a huge success story for recently, but as you mentioned, though, huge off the open. All right, we might as well just close this trade. I mean, it's going to be 350. It's a good trade here on 350 in the money. The time is not 350; it's 358. With only 2 minutes left, you know, we have to be flat at the end of every single day. So. Here goes Amazon. Let's just offer 53s, and there we go. We get out of that one. So we'll fire off the hot dog cannon. Say what's up to everybody. Hope everyone had a great day here today with only a minute and a half left. We are now out of Amazon. It's your biggest trade of the day here, and I'm happy to be on that one. So we should have been on Tesla long, which we were, but there goes Tesla. Huge move to the upside as well. AEO. Let's just have a quick look to see where American Eagle Outfitters is winding the day up. Oh, just 38%, and I'm really happy to be green.
1880.
Yeah, exactly. Happy to be green on this name today as we go short, short, short. Boom, right there into the 200 period moving average there for AEO. And those are some good outs. And, you know, that's why you got to take the outs when they're there. Stay green on a day like today on American Eagle Outfitters by going short. What? How is that even possible? Lululemon and all the rest going for a nice little run here into the close. So get ready, man. 12.5%, 13% expected return or earnings move there for Lululemon, DocuSign, Broadcom coming at 415. So get ready for that. Adair and I will run through all of the numbers as well. Smith & Wesson tonight as well in case that world's coming to an end. But yeah, watch out for Lululemon. I think is going to be a big mover here tonight.
And whether people, the world's not ending, but there's enough people that seem to think it is that keeps those.
Well, and there's some sort of an amendment there in the United States.
There is a big one. There is a big one. But at the end of the day, it's going to be a big one tonight, regardless of what happens with Broadcom. It is too much of the market not to move. But the closing bell brought to you by Beta Pro by GlobeX. And we're going to ring it in 3, 2, and 1. And the market is now closed. Of the earnings names that we mentioned, it is Lulu and DocuSign that I believe are coming at 405, or at least expected to come at 405, so they should be the first two to hit. Broadcom's not till about 415 or so a little bit later on in the cycle. So you do have a few minutes before we get any of the big earnings here. Danny Coe saying Broadcom is going to dump. Look, I don't hope that it happens, but this is a stock that's been priced pretty decently to perfection, and I just feel like it's gone a little too far. And we saw what happened with NVIDIA, right? It was a pretty good quarter for NVIDIA. They didn't seem to care. They might say the same thing when it comes to Broadcom for sure. So I want to give a big shout out and thank you to everyone in the chat for participating, letting us know what stocks you're interested in. Overwhelmingly on our poll, everybody seemed to like Broadcom in that pick. I think it was over 50%, just like it was CRM yesterday. So hopefully this one does well. So shout out to you guys for being such a great community. And shout out to our entire team for making us look and sound good. Shout out to Joe. I know he's going to have a fun one away. And we're going to see Obi in tomorrow for Sean. But you know what you got to do right now? We got monster earnings, one of the biggest companies in the world, and a few movers as well. And we've got it at the desk. We've got Sean, we've got Adara, and an earnings bonanza. So go get them.
All right, thank you, everybody. And yeah, we're over here at the desk again. Hey, Adair, how's it going?
I'm good. How are you?
All right, right now, I'm doing great. Right now, Lululemon's at 208. So
yeah.
You are really starting to go right now with Lululemon. We don't have the report out, but there it goes. Up for a nice day here for Lululemon. Watch out up top here. You'll see some of the prices going through. 207.26 by 207.88 right now for Lululemon. So we'll have to wait to see. I don't know what's up with my layout here. It's having some sort of an issue, but there it goes. 207 and changes. We'll take a look here. Daily chart down here for Lululemon. But thank you again for joining us one more time today. Nasdaq goes out for a nice high, almost up 1% there. Nice little rally into the close for Lululemon or for the market as well. We get ready for Broadcom earnings.
Yes.
DocuSign earnings. We've got Adara here. We're looking for UiPath. So it should be a good one. Thank you, everybody, for joining us one more time. And of course, this show is brought to you by GlobalX and their Beta Pro 3X product. Go check it out. Lululemon right now down to 206. We're going to get that going. I want to say a shout out to everybody that's with us right now. Hopefully you guys are here. Put in the chat, 1 for Lululemon down, 2 for Lululemon up, 1 for down Lululemon, 2 for up Lululemon. Let me know what you guys are thinking right here in the chat. But thank you to everybody for being here. Crypto Banks, Chiruka right here, Roadrunner. Okay, it's going to be mixed. 1, looks like 2. So 2 is up, 1 is down.
They were down the last few reports.
Yeah, no, it's not going to be. Ozan goes moo right there. The chat going nuts right now. So Lululemon definitely mixed look right here. It's just a brave trade trade. We'll see what winds up happening here with Lulu. And of course, we are brought to you by Global X, but we do have the Benzinga Pro platform ready to kick that as well. So that should be a good little look here. As all the numbers will come in, we've got Adara here. It's going to run through everything. The minute someone reports, we've got it for you right now. Tell me which name you're most excited for.
I'm excited for Lululemon because, I mean, like, honestly, my best intraday trade in history, fun fact, was Lululemon earnings on August 30th, 24. So, like, that is... it's something I feel more comfortable with because of the spread. So yeah, that for sure I'll be watching. I also want to let you guys know, Bill Holdings on watch, BILL, making a bit of a pop. Reuters reporting that Starboard took a massive 8% stake in the company, and they might be looking for a board seat here or an overall board strategy. What are you most excited here for? I know you just got involved in Lulu, but Broadcom could be exciting tomorrow too, Sean.
I'm most excited for Lululemon because I actually think Broadcom goes down.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I don't know how they're going to do.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, honestly, like to sit here, I wasn't doing the NVIDIA day, but I remember when we were here, we were talking about NVIDIA coming out with earnings, and the move was 6%, right? And they kind of disappointed. The earnings call was great. They didn't have the greatest guide, so we were sitting here wondering what was up with that, and then all of a sudden, bang, 5 or 6 straight down days. Did NVIDIA wind up down, though, today? Let's have a quick little look just to see what. No. Nice move at the end of the day there for NVIDIA. Really nicely executing their upside for NVDA. I don't know where the symbol went here on my customization. Oh, there it is. Display chart title, there it is. We'll go like that for that. So there we go. You can see, okay, there's NVIDIA. And we also want to get the percentage up on this as well. Display percentage, there it goes right there. So absolute change, no, percentage is good enough. So that's what it is. So we're going to wait to see what winds up happening right now with NVIDIA. But nice upside today, up 0.7. So they cut their losing streak there multiple days. Nice downside play. They're bouncing off the 50-period moving average. So if we're going to talk about Broadcom, their 50-period moving average is not anywhere near where we are right now. Broadcom's had a nice move up. You have to get down into 285 would be a move for Broadcom down there to the downside. So, yeah, that's right. There was NVIDIA news with CoreWeave.
Lululemon out.
So that
DocuSign out.
A DocuSign is out and Lululemon is out. Okay, so there goes Lululemon. Bye-bye, downside. So we'll take a hit on Lululemon as there it goes. I don't want to hit the panic button there, but wow.
I keep over numbers.
You might as well. Down 8% right now for Lulu. Yep. Remember, we were up 3%, so that goes downside.
Revenue.
Yeah, DocuSign as well. Just quickly, I just want to get some of these moves here on DocuSign. So it looks like Neil picking DocuSign up 10%. There goes DocuSign upside, and there goes Lululemon, of course, downside. So Marissa, you got to get into the store and buy like a couple pairs of pants to support this one. Now 182. Give us the Lululemon numbers right now. Down 8% here. Beat on gap, but
yeah, revenue up 7% year over year, but it did miss estimates. 2.525 billion versus 2.538 billion expected. Their Q2 diluted EPS, though, $3.10, beating estimates of $2.90. Comparable sales might be a problem here, Sean. Comparable sales overall were up 1%, but America comparable sales down 4%. This was only really offset by a 15% increase in international comparable sales. So North America not so hot, international apparently quite well. Income from operations down 3% year over year. Operating margin down 210 basis points year over year. So some of these metrics are less than ideal for LULU. I'm still not seeing the overall DocuSign numbers yet. But I'll have to read through that report. Give me a second there. Yep. Lululemon earning or guidance here, GAAP EPS guidance for Q3, Sean, is very abysmal. $2.18 to $2.23, well below estimates of $2.94. They're guiding sales here between 2.47 and 2.5 bill for the quarter, well below estimates of 2.568 billion. Now they also lowered their GAAP EPS guidance for the fiscal year and their sales guidance for the fiscal year. That's not a great look for Lulu. Let's talk about Docu quickly, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Revenue here, $800.6 million. That's up 9% year over year. Looks like it's above estimates of $780.2 million. And their adjusted EPS did beat estimates as well. Yeah, again, 9% year over year increase there. Professional services revenue actually decreased by 13%, but the market does not seem to care about that metric too terribly. TTIN, can I load up this chart? I can. Awesome. Service Titan, nice push higher as well. This is a nice little beat. Q2 adjusted earnings of 33 cents versus 18 expected. That is a fantastic look. Sales, $242.1 million versus $229.51 million. If I get more here on Docu, I'll let you know. Service Titan also signing a strategic partnership. And Marathon Digital, MARA, I guess providing a August 2025 mining update. So maybe keep an eye on Mara. Or Mara.
Yeah, no, I like Mara for sure. Thank you, Pelican, for saying you love the show. Thank you so much for all of that. But yeah, you can see there, not good. I was just reviewing the Lululemon numbers as well as their rate here, man. Lulu, bad overall, man. They went from 1450 to 1470 down to 1277 and 1290. So, oops, now you can't read anything that I've zoomed in here. Let's adjust it right here. So here it is right here. Bad overall guidance on Lululemon. So not great there. So they went from 1458 to 1277 and 1297. So down about $25. Look, down 8%. All right, it sucks. It's not the end of the world, but it's definitely not great. DocuSign as well. That was another number that we were looking for. Dare just went over those. DocuSign right now. I'm going to get those numbers for you as well. Second quarter fiscal results out. Actually, I don't have the numbers on DocuSign, but they're up right now 11%. Yeah, I guess the name that we look for now is UiPath next, right? So UiPath coming out today with earnings as well. And then the big one coming in 7 minutes, Broadcom. So looks like UiPath does have an up and down move here, but that can't be earnings, right? Broadcom, UiPath over 12%, I believe, implied move, not doing anything right now, UiPath. But it looks like Lululemon, that's a Nasdaq name, bouncing off some of those lows. I tried to get Lululemon on the daily chart, and it's just, this is what it looks like, man. If no one, and I guess the truth is, in the report, but if they're going to be guiding lower, obviously the retail space doesn't have enough money right now for sort of the higher end. I don't think this is a good look for, and I just told you yesterday, we bought ON on shoes yesterday. They're expensive as well, so I just wanted to know about some of these other stocks here. Let's check out what's going on with ON. Not really doing too much of a movement from 46 down to 45.70, but their chart as well telling a little bit of a story here. $63, $64 down to $45 for ON. And again, that's just a shoe company, so a little different. They do make some clothing there, but I think this is an overreaction to the Lululemon numbers, but hey, man, I am a shareholder, so that would, just recently, 10 minutes ago, shareholder there on Lululemon. But on not doing anything. So UiPath is now out as well. So Lulu trying to find a base here. Looks like the lowest Lululemon got was 180, 179 change there for Lululemon, trying to find it. IoT is out as well. UiPath is now out. There goes UiPath. A couple bang ups right there for them. They're going to go 10% as well. UiPath with a nice move higher right now. So their quarter's out. DocuSign, 92 cents versus 84 cents for DocuSign. So, oh man, some of these names are not Nasdaq versus New York. There goes DocuSign up again. Good numbers for them. 92 versus 84. Nice move there. You got Samsara is out.
Yeah, I mean, well. I got Docu too.
Yep.
So Q2 adjusted earnings, 92 cents per share versus 84 cents expected. As I already went over here, sales were a beat. And up 9% year over year, so good look for Docu. UiPath revenue, $362 million versus $347.3 million. That would be a beat. And their annual recurring revenue came in at $1.72 billion. Their Q2 adjusted operating income, also a nice beat. $62 million versus $40.1 million expected. IoT, $391.5 million versus $372.2 million expected. Hefty beat. Q2 adjusted earnings per share, 12 cents versus 7 cents expected. Nice beat. Their Q3 revenue outlook, $398 million to $400 million, not seeing how that compares to estimates. Q3 adjusted EPS outlook, 11 cents to 12 cents per share. And we're waiting for our good friend Broadcom.
Yeah, it's going to be the Broadcom story, I think, here today, because right now we got UiPath. It's just up 3%, but a good move there. UiPath just trying to get back into some of the levels of concern here. It's kind of like not doing too much. We need to break above this 1140, and then I think it can go. So watch out. UiPath right now coming back to flat after what looked like a good report, up there to 1180 and change. IoT, of course, Samsara here. Internet of Things. Wow, great move there, as this name's been beat up recently as well. But now a nice move there for IoT starting to go. Let's see if Broadcom's giving us any sort of an indication. Not out yet. Just wanted to see if there's anything going on here in the aftermarket. It doesn't look like it right now for AVGO and Broadcom shareholders as they patiently wait. NVDA did have that move up there at the end of the day with news about CoreWeave, so we could check out what's going on with CoreWeave as well. They're down to $87. Again, good move there at the end of the day, but now falling just a little bit back into reality here, into $87. CoreWeave still down 3% on the day. We had Salesforce. It was yesterday's sort of womp trade, but they battled back nicely there today. So similarly to Lululemon, where today Salesforce beat on earnings and revenue, which is different than Lululemon, but they had fallen about 6 or 7% as well. But it looks like Lulu, the oppo right now, because they are continuously falling right now on weak guidance. So now hitting the lows of the day, down 10%. Okay, we're not going to cry over this, but it is definitely not going well here for Lululemon shareholders as we look at a bottom was just made right there of 177 and change right now, getting rinsed to the downside now. We talked about it's all about the guide, right? So they did not guide well. They guided I think it was $12 versus 14. There's some change in there as well, but downside play there for Lululemon. Let's have a quick look at what that poll said here. So Broadcom was where a lot of the money was going to go here after before earnings. So some put into Broadcom, some put into DocuSign, a little bit into UiPath, but Lululemon, a third of you right now, like I, getting hit on that call. But you know, again, we got long at 205, so it is a little bit of a downside play there. Down right now about 13% from that look. Not good. Give it a couple days, right? We've seen a battle back in a name like Marvell as well. That name's, you know, sort of had its troubles. I thought it was at 65 earlier today. It was 64.60 or so. But again, there's that big miss for Marvell, trying to gather some strength there in Marvell. But now we are moments away, Adara, from Broadcom. And the number that we're looking for here on Broadcom, as you had listed and given to me earlier, was 167 EPS with revenue of $15.8 billion. So EPS number, Adara, 167, revenue 15.8. What do you got?
Now, sometimes, I don't have the numbers yet, but sometimes, too, it is worth noting some of those estimates are not always going to compare with what the street has. I always like to provide that caveat. These are just the numbers that I'm generally kind of seeing go through. Someone in the chat was saying, oh, you guys said Lulu missed, and then you said it beat. They did beat on EPS, but they missed on everything else. So just to clarify there, they also had some comparable sales issues. AVGO and Watch, someone also asked for coverage on CPRT. I will cover it once it comes out at 4:15, but of course Broadcom the priority. BRZE also reported Braze. They did decently. I can cover them later. I have to look here, Sean, for this AVGO
Broadcom is
report.
out
Not
and getting hit.
Yet.
Broadcom is out right now and getting hit. Broadcom right now, there's the big ugly candle right now. It just touched $2.99, but now it's all the way back. They beat. It's $1.69 right now for AVGO. But there it is, getting to the low side right now. Goes Broadcom. It was only up 4% or so today, I believe. Now down 1, 2, 3. So Adara's going to parse through those numbers and give them to you. But right now, all the way back. There it goes all the way back. So here we go, man. If you're watching live, we said it was a beat there. I don't know what that reaction was, but I'll take it. We like this move upside now for Broadcom. There it goes. Very volatile. Nice downside. Whoa! There it goes, man. 313 now for Broadcom. There it goes, man. We like you a lot. Big move there for Broadcom. You got the numbers on the screen for everybody? Let's show them what it is.
I can't put them on the screen because I'm just reading off the earnings report.
Okay.
But I'll tell you what they are. 15.95 billion. So it's a narrow beat here compared to 15.8 billion expected. 22% year-over-year increase. Adjusted earnings, as you said here, $1.69 per share versus $1.67 expected. They did declare a quarterly dividend, 59 cents per share. And they provided fiscal 2025 revenue guidance here, Q4 2025 revenue guidance, $17.4 billion. That does imply here, Sean, an increase here of 24% year over year. So these are the numbers here for AVGO. They are now on the screen because I've now seen them populate on Benzinga. We have Copart too, which I'll go over pretty quickly. CPRT was EPS beat, revenue miss. EPS 41 cents per share versus 36 expected. Sales 1.125 billion versus estimates of 1.135 billion. Just wanted to go over that for the person who requested this in the chat. The stock is not moving.
Yeah, here it is right here. I'll have these numbers up as well. There's Broadcom right now. Q3, 169, beats 165, beat on the sales as well.
Guidance beat.
Beat on both sides. And now Adair's got the guidance right now as well. So here's the guidance. The Q4 sales is what they're looking at as well here. So here's the Q4 sales right now for Broadcom. There it is right there. Sees sales. We'll just go like this. Broadcom sees sales right now. Q4 sales, 17. Wow. What a great sales number. 17.4 billion versus 1702. So, okay. Broadcom closes the day in and around 306, 307. We're lower than that right now, 304 and change. But it's a good guide and a top and bottom line beat for Broadcom. So, Now going red a little bit here. 301 now lows for Broadcom. As I don't know what's going on. 304 and change. My data keeps getting back and forth. Again, I'm using the data from Real Trading, which might get turned off soon, so they can reset. But there it is, the chart right now. 305 and change, live level right there for Broadcom. So we'll have to watch out for that. Let's just quickly see what's going on with DocuSign. I'm going to actually minimize this Broadcom stuff. We'll get that going in just a minute. But it's DocuSign right now. Very similarly here for them. They had a nice beat for Broadcom. This is what it looks for DocuSign, sorry. Looking like this right now. EPS 92 versus 84 cents. Sales of 800 million, beating 780. So it's a nice little move upside there for DocuSign. They also have a nice little report here on the guide for DocuSign as well. So they're going to go 2 for 2 as well. There's a DocuSign Q3 sales, 804 to 808 versus 796. Broadcom leading the way. Was up 12% at one point, Adara. Yep. Now only up 7 and change. So what stock do you want to talk about?
I want to talk about Broadcom.
All right, let's go.
So again, Q4 sales, as you mentioned, beating estimate 7.4 billion. I saw that in the report. They're implying a 24% year-over-year increase, but it is also, again, as mentioned, nicely above estimates of 17.02 billion. I think this might be the issue, Sean, and the confusion with this report. Their Q3 AI semiconductor revenue, Q3 was the quarter they just reported, was $5.2 billion. Analysts were looking for 5.1 billion. You cannot beat by that narrowly in a company like this. So that might be the issue. They're guiding, however, Q4 AI semiconductor revenue nicely above estimate, 6.2 bill versus 5.8 bill. So, I mean, I don't think necessarily a bad look, but that narrow beat sometimes can be all you need, especially in an AI-related stock like this that's had a crazy move, that is one of the most valuable countries in the world. I think that's maybe something to note there. Costco does not often move on this, but I like mentioning it regardless, because sometimes there is a little bit of a pop. Costco did just report net sales here for August 31st, or I guess the end of August there, 8.7% year-over-year increase. Retail month of August, $21.56 billion. Wow, Costco, you sell so much. Shout out to those $2 hot dogs.
I
don't have any other earnings here. I think we went over everything. Oh, $1.50. I remember.
With a drink.
One of the CEOs said, if you ever change the price of like hot dogs, I'm going to kill you.
Yeah, he said he was never.
It's like I'll get the exact quote, but it's pretty wild.
Yeah, he came out and said, they're never, ever changing. It's a loss leader for them. They don't care. People get them on their way out. I don't. Honestly, they're too, I don't. I used to have them, but to me, they're a little bit too like.
Okay, I found the quote. So the co-founder, Jim Sinegal, his successor as CEO, Craig Jelinek, I guess, I don't even think he even maybe threatened to do this, but Jim Sinegal did say, quote, if you raise the expletive hot dog, I will kill you, figure it out. So that's pretty wild.
The word kill is a little bit much.
That's what he said. I'm just trying to read the quote.
Oh, yeah, no. Nothing wrong with what you said. That just seems a little bit off-putting there, but okay. Right there. So, that never gets it. Oh, President Trump signing executive orders right now. Darryl will be all over that.
What's even on the schedule?
Yep. Implementing the U.S.-Japan trade agreement officially signed right now. So that's what I just heard in my ear right there. So, there it is. Darryl will get that news for us in just a couple of seconds. We can look at the Japanese ETF as well. We'll have a quick look there. But right now, Broadcom giving it back. And I mean, the one thing that we had mentioned with Broadcom was their implied move was 6%. I said under that, and right now it's flat. That's on the whole day. That's not in the after hours. In the after hours, we're actually going to be a little bit down. We went out around 3 right there, this little bumper, 306.50. So we're actually down $2 right now on Broadcom and going lower right now on Broadcom as we get into the downside there. So just a quick look here on LULU as well, just to see if they're able to hold out for it. These are Broadcom numbers at the bottom, of course, not Lululemon. I'm going to get you Lululemon's numbers in just 1 second, same kind of way. So here it is right here. We'll pop those out. So this is the Lululemon right now. They're gap EPS, right? And this is the problem with it, obviously, as we see it. There's a few problems with this stock, that's for sure. But beating an EPS is not one of them. Right now, you're going to see this is the EPS number for Lululemon. 310 beats 290. Right, so they beat on earnings, so they're doing something right operational right there. Their sales slightly under 525 versus 538, so slightly under there on Lulu. But this was the problem for them. Their EPS look forward, right, 218 to 223 versus 294. Not a great number there either. And they see their sales under what Wall Street had expected. So Lululemon right now under. Nice moves there for Lululemon today. But the one that everyone's concerned with, of course, is Broadcom coming out. You can see the numbers at the bottom right now. Down right here in after hours, down about a percentage point or so on Broadcom AH after hours as EPS beat as well as sales beat. But the market just goes not big enough. And we sort of thought this would happen for Broadcom. Well, their forward PE was something I think what Neil was saying was in the 40s or 50s with current PE of around 100 for Broadcom. So yeah, they're going to have to probably pull back a little bit on this guidance. Although as expected in the market, not the beat I guess that everyone's looking for. You have more news on IoT? Yeah, so apparently they revealed that their customer, just talking about some customer and platform growth milestones, they concluded the quarter with $1.6 billion in annual recurring revenue, which is actually up 30% year over year. And they did add a quarterly record of 17 customers with over $1 million in annual recurring revenue. So good look here for ARR for IoT. That stock always reminds me of when Andrew Rader was hyping this one into earnings, and unfortunately it dropped. But yeah, shout out to Raider Trader. Hopefully he is doing very well in, I believe, Miami. So yeah, lots to talk about here, guys. If there's any earnings that we missed, let us know. I did mention I wanted to go over Braze, so I'll go over Braze here, BRZE, and this is brazenly moving to the upside. I apologize for that pun, but I made it anyway. Q3, okay, this Q2 adjusted earnings, Sean, 15 cents. That is 5 times the estimate of 3 cents. So BRZE, killing it here. Okay. Sales, $180.111 million, well above estimates of $170.114 million. Q3 EPS, they're guiding between 6 and 7 cents versus 2 cents expected per share. Sales, 183.5 to 184.5 million. They're expecting above estimates of 178.6. And last but not least, BRZE actually raised their guidance for fiscal 26. They're now seeing adjusted EPS. This is a massive raise, all the way to 41 to 42 cents compared to estimates of 17 cents. They raised their fiscal 26 revenue guide to 717 to 720 versus 697 expected. That is a nice little beat here for BRZE. And to answer this question here from Byron Hart, I'm not involved in either Lulu or Docu. I'm not involved in any of the stocks that reported tonight, but I really like trading Lululemon intraday on earnings, as I mentioned earlier. And thank you guys for the kind words. I love giving you guys all this stock news, rapid fire. So let us know anything in the chat. Again, if we're missing anything, if you want to go over anything. Sean, I kind of want to mention that NVIDIA story that came in near the close as well. Okay, yeah. Which actually moved CoreWeave initially more than NVIDIA. So NVIDIA basically, reportedly, according to the information, made a cloud, or I guess a chip deal with a cloud ally, but not renting from CoreWeave. They're renting from this company called Lambda, right? Which is a private company. This is going to be, I was seeing 1.3 billion also from the information, so weird that their headline is a different number. But either way, upwards of $1 billion deal is what it's valued at over a 4-year period. Now, through that deal, NVIDIA is going to be renting about 10,000 of its own chips. I need to figure out how that works, but either way, NVIDIA stock liked it heading into the close. CoreWeave's, unfortunately, weaved to the downside. Yeah, it's dipping and dodging there and going lower here. I said I would look at the Japanese ETF right here, EWJ, not doing anything as Donald Trump, I guess they said, signs the executive order with that agreement on the tariff there for Japan, and it's up right now, Japan ETF. This is EWJ, what it looks like. It's been doing okay. We could see if it wants to take out $80. I mean, doing okay, it's almost at highs right there. EWJ, the Japanese ETF. I do have the Broadcom numbers at the bottom of the screen here. So those of you in the chat, I think someone was mentioning if I was long Broadcom, and you guys are all asking all these questions. I'm long the ES and the Nasdaq and pretty much NVIDIA. We can actually, you know what, let's check. Anyways, not long Broadcom, but yes, long on Lululemon. We just took a shot at it pre-market. We learned our lesson. We didn't go heavy into it. We also, it was Marvell was the one that I thought was going up into earnings as well. We made a play on that one, which was wrong, and then able to buy Marvell the next day for a little bit of a discount around $62.50 or so. I think that's where Marvell is around today anyways. So we have some work to do on Marvell. But Lululemon was in the swing account. We can hold 10% on that. We'll see what winds up happening there on Lululemon. NVIDIA with that upside move there, as Adara just mentioned. They're not doing anything right now on that Broadcom news. Let's have a quick look to see if AMD is as well. 161.40. I feel like that's where we went out at. Yeah, so AMD also not doing anything. A big spike on volume at the close there. As we have a quick, here's the Broadcom numbers. I don't mean to keep covering them up. Hold on a second. If I just draw this, there you go. Now you'll be able to see it. But it's the Broadcom story. I'm going to go over Lululemon in just a second as well. But here's Broadcom, unfortunately, flat. So Broadcom closed the day at 306.50, 305, 306, whatever the price is, and that's where we are right now. So anybody trading options on Broadcom, you lose again on that one because of the implied move 5+%. Right now, the move on Broadcom is 0. So yuck on that one. All right, just a real quick move here. Lululemon, let me just discuss that. Here's the numbers that I have them flying on the screen as well for Lulu. So there it is right there. Lululemon right now coming back in. Costco with a big number as well. We'll talk about that in a minute. There it is, 310 beating 290 there for Lulu. That's the EPS. That's the only good thing about the stock here today. They do give a gap guide much lower than that. I wonder if this is the flush out quarter. So for me, we'll analyze this. This is probably a day 3 play where we'll add to our Lululemon. Did I just get taller, or was this always off right there for Lululemon and for the screen there? But yeah, it's smoked. It's downside there. Lululemon, not a good play. DocuSign, I think, was one of the only names that was going to the upside there today so far. We had that IoT. You sort of gave that story there as well. Here are the DocuSign numbers coming in right here. Let's get rid of these Lululemon ones and just show you what DocuSign's been doing.
Guidewire's up too.
Guidewire, yeah, GRWE, I think I saw that one. 92 cents versus 84 for DocuSign, and then the beat as well on the Q3 sales number. So DocuSign also giving a better than expected guide for DOCU. So that's a quick rundown of all of the numbers so far there today. Anything you want to talk about before we go?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you just saw the White House announcement, Trump signing that executive order to implement the U.S.-Japan trade agreement. I would have loved if it was on his schedule. I'm a little miffed that wasn't on the schedule because the only thing on the schedule was the very vague, and I quote, President Trump hosts a dinner, or has a dinner. We know that dinner obviously is the CEO dinner. But yeah, so schedule, be more specific. But yeah, here's Guidewire. I'll go over briefly. They had a really nice EPS and sales beat. I just tagged someone in the chat with those numbers, and they had better than expected guidance across the board. So for the quarter and for the fiscal year, I didn't see any EPS guidance, but they did beat on their sales guidance. Lululemon is unfortunate. I think I'm seeing a lot of people make jokes about sour tastes in mouths. We know that Opie will be on the desk tomorrow, and I'm sure puns will be made there as well. But David Trezzi, I think for the $5 super chat, I guess this is addressed to you, Sean, so I'll let you take over on that.
Okay, yeah, I just want to say Service Titan as well. Nice move to the high side right now, up 10% in Service Titan.
I went over those numbers, I think. Yeah.
Just good number there. I just didn't mention them. Thank you so much, David, there for the $5. I know you were making a play as well on Broadcom. I hope that winds up working out for you. So I bought shares, not options. So the Lulu story is not over for me. But there it is. Thank you. Neil got the docu beat. Yeah, good call there. We'll have a great night at all, and go Padres. Yeah, shout out to the Padres. Hopefully they can have a good end of their year as well as we cheer on the Blue Jays.
What's San Francisco? Where are the Padres based? What state is?
Close.
It's California, right? San Diego? I would not have guessed San Diego, and I don't know why.
You're close. You said San Francisco.
I knew it was a San. I knew it was in
Cali.
There you go. But yeah. Oops.
So you got it there. Yeah, shout out to the Padres as well. And good luck tonight for the NFL, and if anybody's watching that, I don't think I'll be because I'll be out at the Ball Diamond tonight. But Dara, these are the Eagles or the Cowboys? You don't know that much about football.
Okay, I watched the Cowboys cheerleader documentary, Cowboys.
Oh, perfect. Okay, Cowboys. Yeah, my daughter watched a little bit of that. She liked it.
Yeah, it's pretty dark.
Oh, is it at the end? I think she wants to.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying it's like inappropriate. It's kind of sad. Like you're just kind of oh shucks. Because I'm not going to get into the documentary, but I would say it's worth watching. Like it's not X-rated or anything.
No.
So shout out to the Cowboys. Who are you rooting for? Because I know
we have the Eagles. Yeah, we have the Eagles in a must-win based on the pool that we're in.
So you need them to win?
Need them just to win.
Okay.
So as long as the Eagles win, they go forward. It's in a pool where I don't want to say what the pool's called because it's not a good word here for YouTube.
Oh boy.
But it's where it's a knockout pool.
Oh, so, I think Neil mentioned that.
So you basically just take a team every week, and you can never take the same team twice.
Oh.
So once you use Eagles once, that's it for the rest of the year.
That's tough.
So the idea is that you keep looking for good value, and this week there really isn't too much. So, all right, thank you, everybody. It's 4:32. That's Adara. I'm Sean. I'm off tomorrow. Good luck to him tomorrow with Obi. Joe's also off, so it should be a big day tomorrow. I think, are you going on the midday show at all?
It has not yet been confirmed or denied. When I know, you'll probably just see me sneak up on the midday. I'm not going to tell anybody. So might be a surprise. Me trading one of my good spready friends, Lululemon, potentially. We'll find out.
Good. All right, tomorrow's a new day. Today is over with. Lululemon downside, Broadcom relatively flat. So, Nasdaq near all-time highs again. Good move there for the financials near the end of the day as well. That's Adara. I'm Sean. Ciao for now.
Bye.